Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to D&D in a Castle. This is the April 2024 actual play event with an almost, all Dungeon Masters experience presented by Tabletop Vacations. We're gathered here in the heart of the UK in the legendary Lumley Castle for a night you won't forget. Tonight is a landmark event for us. For the very first time, we're having an actual play event from within these ancient walls. You're about to witness the magic of D&D in a Castle experience brought to life by some of the most creative minds in Dungeons and Dragons. Now, for those who might be new to D&D in a Castle, allow me to illuminate the marvel that awaits. Imagine a realm where Dungeons and Dragons transcends the tabletop, coming to alive within the grand setting of a real castle. This isn't just any getaway, it's a portal to a narrative where you're both the spectator and hero. Immersed in a luxury experience that elevates the game to something truly magical. Vacation beyond imagination. Encapsulating our offering a unique escape into fantasy and adventure. Now, if your curiosity is piqued and you crave this part of future tales, head over to dndinacastle.com, discover how you can join us for an upcoming event, and make your own mark on this story. Now, here we have an adventure to tell. But before we dive into that legend, let me introduce me, the Dungeon Master for today. I am Jayden King, your guide and Dungeon Master for tonight's tale. I am an inclusive TTRPG performer, game designer, and above all, storyteller, and I've taken more than half a dozen adventurers through the realms in D&D Castle as one-shots and campaigns. I do my best to bring something spectacular. Allow me to introduce the participants of tonight's story for you. Now, I'm going to go one at a time as we go around the table for who they are and what they bring to the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Moving to my right, Mark Meer.
Hello, I'm Mark Meer. I do voices in video games, and I've been rolling dice since the 1980s. I do enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, and I've been a recurring Dungeon Master here at D&D in a Castle since 2019. I also play other role-playing games. You can see me on Chaosium's channel doing Bookshops of Arkham and Graveyards of Arkham, Call of Cthulhu games. I'm a storyteller of that. And I was on the Black Dice Society as well. And you can usually find me rolling dice in my own home.
Lovely. My name is Guy from How to Be a Great GM, a YouTube channel telling you ideas, inspirations, and things on how to improve your narrative within your role-playing games. And I have had the wonderful privilege of playing in D&D in a Castle now for several years. I forget how many times I've been here, but it's been a lot of fun. And yes, you can catch me on my YouTube channel running live games. The Duskmorn Chronicles, for example, just kicked off. So it's highly bingeable content. And I'm looking forward to playing with these wonderful folk this evening.
Hello, my name is Elisa Teague. I'm a tabletop game designer. A lot of people in the D&D world know me from writing the puzzle chapter of D&D's Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, but I've written a lot of stuff beyond puzzles for both Dungeons & Dragons and other systems. I'm the lead designer on the Essence 20 system, which is the system that the Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, and Power Rangers games are built upon. And I've written on the Marvel TTRPG, and right now am producing and writing on the Crooked Moon 5e setting, which is a folk horror setting from the Legends of Avantis folks. And I've been to this castle more times than I can count, but I've been to D&D in a Castle as a DM since the very first castle in France in 2018. And I am known for weaving in my puzzles and intrigue into custom-made stories that I tell for my adventures, and I love doing that. Currently for playing, I do play at home as well all the time, but you can catch me on an actual play called Legacy of Worlds with Keith Baker and Ed Greenwood, Luke Gygax, Tommy Gofton, and our DM Devin Wilson. And it is a planescapey jump from different canonical worlds using canonical characters from the creators of those worlds. And it's really fun to see. You can see that on Six Sides of Gaming channel.
I'm Chris Haitley, he, him. I accidental gate crasher in 2019. I've been involved with D&D in a Castle since 2022, I think I'm right in saying. Originally as a staff member, now as a one-shot DM, and as of this last round, as the youth table DM. Other than that...
Hello, I'm Beth the Bard. I wrote She is the Ancient and co-wrote Daughter Frankenstein. I also created TTRPG University, where we teach people how to write TTRPGs, how to get published, how to make a living in this cool industry. Yeah, that's what I got.
And so that's the players who weave the stories. And now it's time to dive in to the story they will be woven upon. The stage is set. The dice are ready. I believe it is time to embark on their legend. And it's that legend that we dive into something grand. As just outside the city of Baldur's Gate, threats loom in many ways. More than a pack of wolves, a few loose spiders. No, something recent had occurred. As several adventurers had heard legends of a den that kept gold, treasure, glory. A dozen groups have gone and some have returned. Worse for wear, at least those that have made it back. However, an individual, a young Sven aspiring to be a soldier for Baldur's Gate, sought a few champions to come with him and slay a beast he's heard whispers about. A chance to gain renown himself. And of that, he requested 5 less than stellar heroes, though in their own minds perhaps glorious. To the most of Baldur's Gate, not as much. Through that journey, they uncovered that den they spoke of, a few gems and crystals, an opportunity for something. But what den did that belong to? None other than a sleeping, peaceful Hydra. Though perhaps with enough adventurers poking and prodding at it, we learned that it was vicious, angry, ferocious, and hell-bent on taking Baldur's Gate with it. So, with you, the last few standing before it takes its tirade upon the outer city and beyond, the fight was tumultuous. But there were in the final moments. Resources have been spent. The Hydra's heads have torn, regrown, but only a few remain as everyone stands on their last-ditch effort. The fight possibly leaning one way or the other. I wonder what it is that we see fighting, and what are they doing? We see the green, a little goblin? What do we see?
Winifred is a little green goblin warlock, and she would definitely, at this moment, be clawing her way out of the face of one of these Hydra heads. Just tearing it open.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll for whichever item you're using, weapon or claws.
That would be claws. That's not good. It's not good.
What do we have?
4.
4. As you attempt to claw through, the Hydra's hide is tough. However, the scratching causes it to... Something is a nuisance more than anything, but an opening is created as I see the human attempts, graceful as ever. What do we see?
Boss, I'm not sure this great club is a great idea. Jean Toutain, the dexterous human fighter, throws away the great club his mentor has demanded he use, unsheathes the rapier and dances around, stabbing away at the softer parts of this Hydra's feet.
Go ahead and give me the attack roll for that stab.
17, that will be a 25.
25. Luckily, as Winifred distracts its focus, you're able to dance around the flurry of moving heads. It's stomping around the terrain. Stab, stab, stab. A distraction, a weakness made, and then from the shadows, something lurks. Something small yet large in power.
You'll see as Koshech comes up beyond the little tufts of flowing hair on one of the heads, as she rides on one head and shoots at another, commanding her new steed to lay down and die.
Give me. I would like the attack roll for this shot.
A 19.
A 19. As you ride amongst one head, another shot goes. Not one, but series of blows that pierce, pierce, pierce. Vulnerability shown as that head seems to lean, unable to hold its support. Slowly, the Hydra starts to diminish, and as it seems its vulnerability grows, its weakness becoming grander, something lurches with might and mass. Fury unbeholds.
That club is to teach you can't use a knitting needle to kill a monster, says this very green orc with a very red beard, wearing the finest livery that money can buy or that can be pinched up on the washing line, while he's bashing away at the head with a sword, a proper sword.
Show me what a proper sword can do with a roll.
It's more demonstration purposes, so I'm not going for actually hitting the monster, of course, you understand this. That would be a 17.
17. As you continue to swing, not as precise as your student, but still with enough gravitas to show the might of a heavy swing, beating and battering at it. Seemingly, this Hydra, weakened, aggravated, annoyed, exhausted, furious, but more so, curious, as to one seems to be moving in a different dance. In what way do we see that be?
Stepping from cover on his turn, you see a gift Yankee wearing a battered leather tricorn hat. He steps forward, having cast fly on himself the previous round from his little concertina, the squeeze box that he carries with him all the time. He's going to fly into position. Now, he's about to cast Shatter, and of course that'll have a 20-foot diameter effect. 10-foot radius. He's going to try to catch as much of the Hydra within there as possible, maybe multiple heads as well as the body itself. So that'll be a save from you there, friend, a constitution save if you don't mind.
And with the Hydra's roll, almost fitting, a natural one.
Well then I'm afraid you'll be taking all of this damage if you don't mind. Here we are now.
Furious Shatter.
That'll be upcast, of course, at his maximum level. And so that'll be 18 points of thunder damage to the whole affair.
Being struck, stabbed, shot, bashed, and a thundering spell goes off. All the moments of weakness pushing the arrows further through, tearing through the small gaps, piercing, and the small goblin shredding through those forces pushing harder, and a more demonstrative attack than anything else. The heads fall, the body starts to move, inch slowly, and collapse, dust moving, terrain sliding. And with you, young Sven, an aspiring half-elf, hoping to one day be a soldier, out of breath, leaning with a shield that shines a bit too much for someone who has yet to be hit. A sword glistening too clean to have ever seen a true strike. Exhausted, seeing before. But this is the tale you tell at the young Paddylock, just on the outer city, as you're regaling the tale of how you bested this Hydra, ending Captain Flint telling their final conclusion of how they bested the Hydra.
Well, the real secret to getting all the credit is to make sure you're the one that strikes the final blow. You keep that in mind there, young Sven.
As a few people seem to be regaled in this information, trying to listen to the tale, though a few non-believers amongst the crowd, you hear, yes, so you, rabble elves, could slay a Hydra, as you see what appears to be a massive orc in full plate armor, helmet on the table, along with a dwarf on another side, an elven, seemingly someone with a great bow, larger than it should be in most cases, looking with not quite disdain, but incredulity, disbelief,
Did I say a single hydra? It was actually 3 hydras, as well as a Baylor demon. I'll make an deception check on that.
I would like that to be the case.
Very good. Now, I am a college and eloquence bard, so I'll be getting at least a dirty 20, but I'll see if I can improve that. Yeah, dirty 20 it is.
As you kind of speak this, there's a moment of, you see this orc who had so much pride, a small notch taken down as they seem wanting to not believe it, but they have no proof of the contrary. But as you're in the Paddy Lock, this small bar and tavern, just on the outskirts of the main city, the rest of you, as Captain Flint regales the tale, to hire your misfit band of adventurers, what is it that you are partaking of inside of the tavern? To drink, to sit, to talk, to gamble? As you are a bit short on currency at the moment, I will bring it over to the noble, not noble.
All in the name, right?
Call in the name.
Right. So, young master, now that you've had your training on the rudimentaries of fighting a... How many heads was it?
Oh, there were at least a dozen heads on each of the hydra. I think one had 18, and of course, they were all being rid at the same time by the Baylor demon, who was quite bow-legged, as you'd understand, stretching across 3 hydras as he was.
Right. So now you've had the fundamentals and how to destroy an 18 and then it's a lot.
Oh, yes.
18-headed monster.
More than we could count.
Right, exactly. It's time for your next lesson and your family's next payment of coin, because we've run out and we've got nothing left. So,
Well, I'm sure I can send them a letter.
what about paying for the next round of drinks?
That sounds good.
That's good enough for me to start with. It's good enough for me. Your word is my word. As I've taken on faith that your family will pay us more.
Madam.
As you see the barkeep who owns this establishment, you know of Patricia, the proprietor of Paddy Lock, kind of takes notice of you and motions for the halfling and their gnome servers to kind of converge for a moment, the halfling coming first, as the gnome decides to let this one go. You see the small halfling, dark skin, a bit of pale golden hair, with a smile on his face. Oi, what can I do for you?
Well, we would love a round of drinks.
Two. For me, thank you.
Two rounds of drinks. 4 rounds of drinks.
Around in the house, I says.
Everyone
Around the house, yes?
wonderful.
Of course.
No, not for the house, on the house.
On the house?
Aye, indeed.
Oh, yeah, on the house.
We. I'm not quite sure I can be the one to do that.
I'll attempt a persuade roll. Well, I think it'd be good publicity, mind. Look at this place. It'll be talking about your hospitality and generosity all over the city, won't they?
As you see the nerves building in them.
Oh, well, that is a 22 on the persuade.
Right. You have, bested a hydra and a Baylor, you say?
Oh, yeah, there was a Baylor. You know, there may have been a few trolls riding on the Baylor's shoulders as well. It was hard to tell in the heat of battle.
Yes, I will, I'll take a moment to speak with Patricia and see what we can, arrange for you. Yes? Okay.
If she's proven a little reticent, you have her sent my way. I'll have a word in her ear.
Of course. I'll be right on that. And as you see this halfling walking away, there comes a moment, something odd seems to stir. But do you notice? I would like a perception check from everyone.
24.
I see a 24.
Well, that'd be a 15.
Has it gone dark in here, or is it just me? I don't know.
25.
25?
And as she looks from the shadows in which she has disappeared into.
And what about Winifred?
17.
I see. We have a decent... Those with Flint and Winifred. You've sailed on the seas, and you know the feeling of a ship that hits a heavy wave as it rocks and sways a bit. However, you feel something akin to that, though a bit off. For you're not on the sea, you are upon land, indeed. However, for Jean and Holsha, you feel something, a tremble. The ground vibrates in a way that is off-putting. Something just outside of the Paddy Lock Tavern. You feel the ground tremble almost like a shockwave coming your direction, just outside, perhaps a short distance away, and a faint whisper on the wind, though truly a scream of help being requested, carrying through. Though the rabble-rousey of the tavern makes most ignore it, you too notice the sound of someone asking for help.
You hear it in your ear out of the darkness. You didn't even know she was there. As her sword goes into your chin a little. Hey, I hear a call for help. Do you hear the same call?
I hear a call for help. We go?
Oh, and she'll like pull the sword down. Like, maybe we can kill whoever is doing the...
Should we tell the best? They don't seem to have noticed.
I guess we can tell them. Let's go.
Boss, there is somebody outside who needs our help.
Are they rich? I mean,
Probably.
We're going to not kill them. We'll kill whoever is making them scream for help.
We
Yes.
Now, what have we said about just offering our services around like do-gooders? I think we should negotiate terms before we draw our blades.
but Flint, if we help them, then they have no negotiating power. We take what we want.
but they've got nothing. You see, apprentice, this is what it's all about. It's all about training and understanding what's going on.
Should
But
we
in the meantime, we
assess
should
the
probably-
situation perhaps
Yeah.
first, and then maybe they look rich.
Well, lead
on.
away.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So who is taking lead on pointing? Because I know both of you know where it is, but who's taking point on the navigation to follow the sound?
Jean would almost certainly try to take point, but would immediately drop back if Hosha
Hosha.
tried to get in front.
I believe Hosha would be more
Do you
Hosha.
need me to say it again? And she like draws her bows to an imaginary nobody.
Because she knows somebody in the universe.
Somebody is saying my name wrong.
I believe you were more of a stealth-like, so you wouldn't take point at this late day where the light still shines.
Probably true.
Where do I need to go?
So,
Just trying to go in front.
John, I need you to give me, this is a choice moment of an investigation to discern the location or insight to understand the situation.
I think insight sounds about right.
Excellent.
That is a 12.
With a 12, and we're doing insight.
Insight.
You kind of are making your way between where Eastway and Brampton, just near the Cliffgate side. The smell of the water starts to waft through. As you try to gauge the sound, it's become quiet. Eerily quiet, even for this midday busyness. But you can still faintly hear the sound of something crashing. It's kind of a trail of something. And for those, the pirates or sailors, in whatever way you decide your profession, Flint and Winifred, you smell something of a sea creature. It smells almost like shark. The smell of salt and shark.
Well, I've smelled a few sharks in my time, from a closer range than I'd like. You smell that, Winifred?
Do we get to eat it?
Perhaps it's fins in a nice soup. I suggest we let the big fella go first. He makes an effective meat shield, does he not?
Yeah.
A shield made out of meat wouldn't do very well.
Oh, it depends on how thick it is, and you're the thickest fella I know.
Yeah. Right. Let's go.
With
Where
Jo-
we going?
With John taking
Oh, so we go.
point.
Which way? That way? That way? That way?
We didn't hear nothing.
I don't know what you're on about.
Follow me.
As Jean takes point with Boss just behind. You are the first to see it, John. What you notice to be a collapsed partially building, as if something had ran through it. And from the back, you see this lumbering figure, just slightly larger than your boss. You see the fur of this marsupial-like, of this bear running through town. What is it you wish to do? As you see it kind of running through building to building, breaking down the door frames of anywhere it enters.
The first thing I will do is draw my sword, my glittering rapier that my boss despises so much, but that I adore more than anything. and then look to my boss. Point to the creature. Okay. Boss, I think this is the creature. Shall we go to fight it? Well, you are the master.
He points it out as you can see the back of this bear that seems to be charging through buildings just along the path. You're kind of trekking a bit, seeing the wake of destruction it's leaving on these random shacks and people running away as best they can. This is a quite quick and mobile bear standing on its hind legs running through everything.
Its hind legs.
Standing bipedal before you.
All right, well, first things first, brace yourself. Oi, Fluffy, come over here.
You draw its attention as it kind of semi-stops, turns, and you see this bear standing as it kind of starts to flail, and you see both arms chomping at these shark teeth, as it seems to have shark for hands.
Ah, that would explain the smell, then.
You know what I was thinking?
I've no idea. An abomination from the Nine Hells, from what I can tell. And I'm actually shouting this because I'm hanging well back.
Yeah, why are you so far? All right, look. It's probably going to try and eat you. Lesson 1, don't get eaten.
I would try, and I will run straight towards it.
You run straight towards it. What is it that you wish to do? As it's time to turn, and it seems to be doing this like very wild movement, like it's having trouble balancing on its hind legs, and it seems to be almost guided by its hands that are chopping forward.
So with rapier and dagger out, I will try and get between it and anybody who looks particularly innocent, and bravely wait for the rest of my party to arrive, and then look over my shoulder.
You
To
just
be
see
clear, these are shark mouths out, not shark mouths in.
shark mouths out. Like its arms have been replaced with the mid-body of a shark.
But not arms being eaten by two sharks.
No. They are
Okay.
quite literally arms that seem to be made of sharks.
Oh,
Like I said, an abomination from the Nine Hells. And you do see that Flint has not even left the doorway of the tavern. He still has his drink in hand.
I think
Oh, no.
that I would shoot at this thing because it does not look friendly.
You would shoot at it. All right. You can go ahead and give me your attack roll at advantage. It is unaware of your presence
Oh, good.
at moment.
I will do that. 26.
26. That will indeed hit. Go ahead and give me the damage. And where are you aiming to hit it?
In one of the shark mouths.
Okay.
Oh, probably the. Can I call a shot?
Yeah.
Well,
With
then,
that-
no,
with that high hit,
let's
you
do this the smart way then. Right here in the bear.
All right. With a solid shot, you get a solid headshot. Give me the damage for that.
It's only 6, but I can take another shot.
I will allow you to take the second shot with that as well, as you have a called shot, one arrow piercing its head as it kind of recoils a bit. The second one,
Not as good. 16.
a 16 will still hit. Where are you aiming for?
Same place. I'm going to Robin Hood this.
That one, unfortunately not as precise as your previous shot, goes a bit off and gets more towards the shoulder space of this creature.
Okay, 7 more points.
As it kind of recoils from it, you... No! Help! Help!
Oh, well, she doesn't care. Let's face facts. She's like, okay.
At the same moment, coming towards you, Jean, this thing, however, not shark hands out, shark hands out, as it seems to be trying to guide it out, coming at you, almost stumbling forward. It will be coming to you first. What do you do?
I will take a few steps back to give myself a little bit of space, and then shout back to the rest of the group. The creature itself seems to be shouting for help. Master, you haven't really given me the tools to deal with this, so I shall, what did they say? Improvise. And I will hands out.
No, what's he doing?
And hands out, weapons out, still in hand, but open gesture. Trying to bring the situation down a little bit. Say, my friend, how can I help?
Help! 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 You see, it's trying to speak without a full comprehension of language. It doesn't seem to be fully understanding what it's saying and just mimicking the words help and hand.
My friend, help! Follow me. I should take you to help. and I'll kind of start backing up towards the group, but without ever really taking my eye off.
Are you letting it get within like 5 feet of you kind of near?
No, like 10 feet. If it comes within 5 feet of me, it is getting, I am going full duelist.
Okay. Is there anything that Winifred or Tuskor does? I know Flint's staying back with it.
Holding well back. Am I within 60 feet, though?
As the approach comes, you would be within the 60 feet.
Then I'm happy where I am.
Okay.
Would I consider this thing a monstrosity?
You would indeed consider this a monstrosity.
Being that the monstrosity is one of my favored enemies,
Yes.
could I discern what the hell this is?
I will allow this. You can give me your choice of investigation or insight.
I will do I think they're the same. I cannot see very well because I am blind. Insight. I choose insight. 18.
With an 18, you've dealt with monstrosities before,
I have.
as you've faced hydras and a few other creatures.
I killed them. Oh.
However, this thing doesn't seem familiar in the sense of what you understand of monstrosities. You've heard of hybrid creatures before. However, this one seems foreign even to you.
Foreign in a way that maybe it's not a monstrosity.
Oh, it is a monstrosity.
Okay.
However, not one conjured through what you would consider typical magical creation, as what some would consider a minotaur would be like. This is something entirely different.
Okay. It's a baby shark. Doo-doo.
Winifred?
Yeah, she's
Score.
Have you heard of a goblin drop?
Goblin drop?
Attack from above. They never expect it.
Can I do that?
Yeah. Oh,
You just like pick her up and throw her.
yeah. Absolutely. Give me an athletics, the low DC, just to see how effective this goblin drop will start with.
Oh. 9.
9. You throw a little bit harder than you should have and definitely off angle. However, it depends on Winifred's action as you are kind of launched in the air, giving a nice good arc towards roughly where this bear is.
I'm aiming for one of the arms. Can I really see how I like?
Yeah, you were trying to do one of the your attacks.
Yes. No, I don't want to attack. I want to jump on it.
You just want to land on it?
Mhm.
Give me an acrobatics.
That would be a 17.
Excellent. Offsetting the 9 that throws you a little off, you get a kind of moment to just spin in the air to do your best and kind of collide with the bear's head, but enough to kind of like latch on as you do, oh, help, help, as it constantly says this, still approaching Jean. The goblin drop is successful. Do you do anything now that you're latched on?
I'm attached to its face. I activate a little bit of my primal savagery, but I don't attack. I just kind of like dig in for dear life. And I'm like, I got it, guys. I got it, boss.
Well done there, Winifred. Well done.
As it continues going, you see it's getting frustrated and annoyed as it can't seem to, its hands trying to reach, but the shark teeth unable to get a full angle. I believe I want to check passive perceptions for anyone with a 15 or higher.
13, I'm afraid.
Check. And Jean, amongst this frenzied chaos in a nearby building, just maybe 15 feet to the side, you see what appears to be this like deep purple kitten, just kind of perched. However, you notice from just behind its head, these two almost like tendrils of something kind of just flailing gently as it seems to be just perched up, fixed on the moment, staring, almost watching this bear. As those that have seen it, do you have an immediate response?
I like it. It looks like a pet I would want to keep.
Something you want to do with that? Or are you just looking at it? You're trying to call to it?
I will do this to all cats. Kitten. Kitten.
I would like an animal handling, and you will get advantage because it is classified as a monstrosity.
Oh, good. The good thing, except that I rolled a 3 and a 4. And my animal handling, let's just say animals don't care for me. I care for them. They don't care. They're scared of me.
As you see as it just kind of nods its head, just this like clear refusal, intentional, but keeping its, you notice it has what appears to be its irises fixed on it. So even if it shakes its head, these eyes remain pointed.
This is typical of cats, and I know that it will learn to love me. It will love me eventually.
Jean, you're the other one to have noticed it in this moment. This strange, monstrous kitten.
Jean is very much new to this whole adventuring thing and just trusts the people around him far more than he should. So just believes Mademoiselle Winifred absolutely has the situation in check. And he is having seen the little kitten-looking thing, and seeing Hoshak.
Hoshak. It means darkness.
I haven't seen her reaction to it. I will also try and pss, pss, pss.
Okay.
A little uncertainly.
Go ahead and give me animal handling.
Oh, God.
This is not good. That is a pull. I'm not good with cats. We never had cats as
They're living in the noble and
well, exactly. We dog people.
Dog people, as this cat seems entirely begrudging to be even in this presence, just shaking the head and watching. As I check with Winifred, and Jean, the bear, is getting closer.
Always backing up.
Which brings it within 30 feet of Flint. Is there anything at this point that either Flint or Tuskor wish to do? This thing is getting closer to the one tavern that still lets you show up.
Right. Now, are we near the docks by any chance? Might there be, say, a fishmonger or something similar about? Or even, now that I think of it, even the kitchen entrance of the inn itself. I'm looking for something that might be used for chum, as it were, some fish guts or things that have been thrown away.
You are in Brampton Eastway, which is close to the low lantern area of one of the docks. So you would ideally know that there's some areas that has chum nearby. Why most people don't go to this part of town. It reeks, so you know that if you go to the behind the building where the kitchen is, they have the chum bucket to avoid the fragrance from going inside the building.
Right. If I can grab within 30 feet, and I can use some of my move as well, grab a hold of some of this chum.
Absolutely.
With my mage hand.
Mage hand?
Oh, yes, I'm not getting that stuff on me. So I'll grab a hold of it with my mage hand and take it out a little further away and see if these sharks might be lured. Maybe the bear and the sharks working at cross purposes.
I'll go ahead and roll me a d20, and we're going to add your charisma modifier.
Very well.
Are we having lunch?
That is a total of 17.
17 as the mage hand carries this spell of chum. All of you get to catch wind of it as the breeze has been carrying sounds. It now carries the chum, which has been exposed from its bucket. But you notice as the bear, who was coming towards you, Jean, is still trying as the shark hands starts going this way. Its body coming to you, but its shark hands, so it kind of starts to turn, and you see it start to come unbalanced and does seem to trip over itself and kind of hit the ground at this point. Seems unable to get up properly as it has no true hand support, these shark hands clumping.
I'll move the chum just a little out of their reach.
As they are trying, you see as this bear-like thing has been diminished as a threat, seemingly, but you're all able to notice a cat, small kitten, with these tendrils coming from the back of his head, moving along the debris, separate than the ones you've recognized. Still up there, that cat, still perched up watching. This one seems to be approaching slowly.
Intent on making this cat love her, Hoshak will swing by, and she does not care. Put her hand inside the chum bucket and go towards the kitten, because cats like fish too.
Yes.
Kitten.
And are you going to the one that is perched on the building?
Oh, this is a new one.
Yes, there are two.
Oh, they're working together. The cats are taking over this. I like this. No, I'm going to the first one. I only want the first one as a pet.
Yes. Okay. Go Go ahead and roll me the animal handling one more time
Listen,
with advantage, and I've lowered the DC.
Jean is
thank you for taking pity on me.
Jean is vomiting now. Like Chum has come near him.
Yes,
Gone.
Jean has been living a noble life. The smell of chum is... Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw for that. As what do we get for the animal?
15.
15. John?
15 as well.
You are dry heaving, barely hanging on as you are going to this one on the roof, kind of holding the chum, and it seems to respond partially to that, as it does seem to bound down half of a building and down to about a pitch of debris that gets it 5 feet up to get a little bit of a eye level with you. Still this regal stance as it watches you approach.
I mean, I know what this is because, monstrosity. I know what it is, but I still want to break its... I'm trying to make it love me, but also break its concentration on what it is probably doing to this bear shark man.
Excellent. As you do that, give me an Arcana check as you get close. Is anyone responding to the
That's
little kitten approaching the bear?
Yeah,
Have we seen it? Did we notice?
Yes, everyone sees the one that's on the ground as it seems less inconspicuous, more open in its approach, this very graceful step
It's going towards the bear.
towards the bear.
which one is the enemy?
I say we wait and see how this plays out. Come on, step inside for another drink. Why not?
Well, actually, you've got that bucket. I thought that was
16 on my arc.
quite nice.
With your Arcana, you recognize that this kitten is somehow arcane in nature, not just simply due to being a monstrosity. There is a sense of something observing. You feel something divination-driven from this kitten.
Yeah, I can do
Specifically
nothing
its
about
eyes.
this except try to pet this cat. But I feel like perhaps this kitten is trying to, I don't know, displace my thoughts on what I am seeing on this man?
With your Arcana check and your animal handling, you get the understanding that this cat is watching the events.
Oh, like a spy.
You start to get that feeling.
Is that
I will relate this to everybody else. I think the cats, because they're so cute, they're working together to watch this and report back through their minds to somebody.
So I cut their heads off.
No.
You think this little kitten?
You
Where's
say
the kitten? It's almost like a displacer kitten for those that have encountered a displacer.
I don't know if I have.
And Tuskor, you would know from our previous working relationship that she will kill anything on a moment's notice, but not this cat.
Do I kill the bad thing?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think maybe the bear needs our help.
As I check in on Winifred, who was riding the bear.
Am I still
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you were
Forgot.
you kind of were on its face, back of its head as it's like, well.
And when it fell,
It fell kind of you fell on the side of its head. So you're still holding on, and it's hasn't crushed you, but it fell. As these hands attempt to eat what chum it can of the. Is there anything Winifred wants to do other than just cling?
Got his hands off.
I would like to sit on it to make sure it's not going to get back up. Sit on the back of its neck and then, yeah, I'm going to dig my hands into the shark's claws. Stay put.
Kind of trying to pin the claws down. Okay. It is currently prone. I will allow that to be, and if I go over to Duskor.
What do you want me to do, Mistress of the Dark?
I say we kill this shark.
Oh, good.
Easy enough to remove. As you do so, you're all able to take note that it didn't seem like this thing are part of its arm. You can see what appears to be almost like arcane stitching that attached it at that point.
Right, and the sharks weren't talking at all. It was all coming from the bear.
All from the bear as the sharks have come off and the sharks become immediately easy cleave. The sharks just are done to
Kill it. They taste better when they're alive.
Dash of hat.
That orders was ordered.
Is the bear?
I love how I'm now the boss.
I wouldn't recommend chowing down on any of this thing. I'd say some foul magic's animated it. Might even be a golem of some kind.
As the small kitten, the second one to arrive, does go over to you, Cassius Flint, and kind of start doing a figure eight, mix your legs, kind of gliding against. You understand at least the idea of something trying to get your attention.
Well, no, look at you. How are you doing there?
As it kind of pulls its head up, you see as its mouth opens wider than it should, almost like a speakerphone experience as you're, Flynn, it's Sven. I sent this to find you.
You sent this
Comes to the sewers. I need help. And then you get a sound of something almost like in the background of that echoing sound. Then silent.
Well, no, we're acquainted with Sven.
Sven is someone you've worked with. He's the one who helped you find the Hydra.
Has he ever sent a little tentacled kitten to fetch us before?
Sven has no inclinations towards anything like this.
He was trying to be a fighter. Remember the whole shield and the shiny sword?
Yeah. That's what's a bit confusing about all this. I mean, I'd expect this from a druid or even a spellcaster of any sort, but he's in the sewer, as he said.
As the kitten kind of continues moves and stops a moment as the little tendril tails start to flail kind of towards you, Flint, like beckoning.
I think it wants us to go with, and if Sven sent it, well, I think we can trust it. If that was, in fact, Sven's voice.
It was recognizable.
Very recognizable. It sounds like Sven, panicked voice and all.
What do we do with this bear?
Yeah, well, exactly right. This is a learning opportunity. I want you to take your little
Jean
prick,
pulls out.
and I want you to cut off that shark's arm.
Jean pulls out a notebook and starts jotting down,
Yeah,
waiting
go ahead.
waiting for the
Wait,
lesson.
Cut the arm off.
That just doesn't
Cut the
come.
shark off. Come on. Cut the arm off with that little thing.
Puts the notebook away. It takes out the rapier, which has a cutting edge, but not much of one, and just slowly starts cutting the head off. Is this correct?
No, you want to cut the stitches. Just go put underneath each stitch and
I mean, don't encourage him to continue using that.
He puts away the rapier, pulls out the parrying dagger, and starts just cutting away at this arcane stitching.
As he's busying himself with that, Flint will actually walk over to the bear part of him and just say, "Were you talking to us earlier? Were you asking for help?"
As it's like, you could tell it's feeling pain, but no different than it was before. Help! Help!
Is this
Ask
helping
you a
you?
question.
Help! Help!
He only knows 3 words.
what kind of bear is this?
You're going to speak with animals? Yeah. Okay. You cast speak with animals as you attempt to kind of, what do you say to this bear?
Well, I'm hitting it, and
He asked you a question. Why aren't you answering it?
Oh, you understand me?
Mm-hmm.
They brought me help. They have more. Please, help us.
Like it wants us to help them. Sounds like a big baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got the fact that he wanted help by the fact he kept saying help, help. But what's he saying in bear?
Do you ask anything more?
Who are we supposed to come and help?
The rest of them. There's more.
The rest of the shark bears?
No, the other ones.
The bear sharks?
Ask him if they're in the sewer, where Sven said he was.
Are you in the sewer?
It was dark. I don't know.
Sewers are dark.
I was going to the ball, and then someone snatched me, and now I'm in a bear.
What does he say for himself?
Snatched, became bear, in the dark, didn't say anything about a sewer.
Became bear.
What was he before?
What were you before you became a bear shark?
I was a fisherman.
A fisherman.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose that would explain how a bear knows how to ask for help in common, but that seems to be all he can say. I suspect that his plight and Sven's might be tied together.
Maybe.
Well,
You know Sven?
Sven? No. I
No,
don't know
he's
Sven.
useless. He doesn't know Sven.
Where was he last a fisherman?
Where were you last? A fisherman.
I I used to fish near the Low Lantern, which you know is just maybe west of your location, as where some people kind of fish along the dock.
The Low Lantern?
The Low Lantern, it's right near Brampton Eastway. It's in that like little tri-section of the lower city.
Low Lantern,
Ask him how long he's been a bear.
how long have you been a bear, buddy?
It's been a few days.
You like it?
No!
Oh, just wondering. He doesn't like being a bear.
Has everybody else been turned into a bear?
Has everybody else been turned into a bear?
No, some have been turned to other things.
Like, I gotta come back with more juicy stuff here.
One was a big lion. Another one became
Lion,
a bull-like thing.
a bull,
I don't remember the others.
and he doesn't remember.
So
because we're
now
all
we must
real
think
smart.
all the animals are probably people.
All right. How did he get to running through the buildings now?
Yeah, why were you running through buildings? That's not very nice.
Someone opened the door, and I ran, and I was asking for help.
Could he take us there?
Could you take us to the place?
As you see, like it has, the stitches have seemed to have like once the shark part's removed, the stitches seem to end the ability to like have that. No, I don't remember how I got there. As like tries to move and roll over, as it no longer has hands to like really function in that way.
So we took his hands completely up.
Yeah.
Okay. One more question. Do all of the other people turn to animals? Do they all also have shark hands?
Do you all have shark hands?
No, the other ones were mixed with other things.
No, they're boring.
But you don't tell us the second part?
No, the second part.
As the kitten once again is now going over to Jean and trying to get Jean's attention, being like,
I think it looks like we have a guide to the sewers if we want it. And count me suspicious, but I think I recognize a call to adventure when I see one.
Suspicious.
So I am. Kept me alive thus far. Now, we could just return to our drinks and let this be someone else's problem, but given that Sven is involved directly, I'm inclined to go see where this cat wants us to go.
I agree. I think we should go to the sewers and kill whoever is doing this.
Oh no, not the sewers.
Don't worry, I got a prestidigitate handy for you. You won't be smelling none of that foul sewer stench.
Oh, what stench?
Yes, you might. It's all right.
as you follow the kitten, which guides you towards where the docks are, roughly around where the bear person spoke of, and takes you to what seems to be an abandoned boat, and kind of hops on and sits at the stern and just kind of like motions their like tendrils to where to go.
Well,
Good cat.
As it will guide you kind of like along the side of the rivers until eventually it stops and where you see a small little carved canal where you kind of have to duck your head to clear.
I assume I'm provisioned at water vehicles, so I assume I'm taking it.
Absolutely. As you have, I believe Winifred also is and was able to help you be able to move easy as you make your way underneath. You kind of start to clear the channel and I attempt to reveal as best I can.
Some sewers.
As you will arrive on this end at this dock with the little kitten guiding you as where to go. And as you enter the sewers, you hear the sounds of please let me go home, echoing in the chambers around. Something is occurring in the sewers just around. But we'll have to find that out after a small reprieve. We're going to take a moment and gather our bearings as we dive into the sewers.
Gather your bearings.
Bearings. And so we'll take a moment and see where we go from there. Now, as we catch our breaths from the thrill of the game, we invite you to join us for a special intermission. During this time, we're thrilled to present Tales from the Castle. This is your chance to hear directly from the founders and some of the masterful dungeon masters who bring these legendary events to life. They'll share insights into what it's like to be truly part of this historic and immersive D&D experience.
Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome to Tales from D&D in a Castle. I'm Justin Coates, and tonight I'm rolling a history and investigation check as we hear from the people who make the magic here at D&D in a Castle. We'll be hearing how D&D in a Castle came to be with co-founder Tara Rout, and we'll also have the opportunity to speak with several of the illustrious DMs here at D&D in a Castle. So, let's welcome Tara Rout, the visionary who, along with her brother, Cameron Rout, co-founded D&D in a Castle. Tara has brought together countless adventurers over the last 5-6 years to experience D&D in a Castle within ancient and storied walls. Tara, tell us, how did D&D in a Castle get its start?
So D&D in a Castle started about 6 years ago in 2017, when my brother phoned me very late at night, having come home from a long weekend away with all of his old D&D buddies. Now, he played D&D all through high school, all through his youth, every weekend, all night, every night, after school Friday till school starts Monday. And he had been unable to play really since high school, year after year after year, trying to get together to play, and eventually found that what it took was just making it happen, booking a place, flying everybody out together. And what he found from that experience was the magic and the power and really the therapy that is D&D. And on the flight on the way home, he thought to himself, how do we get people to do this? How do we get people to take the time away from our lives to give ourselves the space to play, which is really the difficult thing that all players face, is finding the space and the commitment from everyone involved. And his thought was, well, maybe if there was a castle, people would do it. People would take their vacation time and come together. And so he phoned me about 11 o'clock at night as he was getting off the plane. Tara, I have some words that I'm going to say to you, and you're going to hate me because you're not going to be able to not do this. I said, okay, Cam, what is it? He said, the words are D&D in a Castle. And he was right. I was not able to not do it. And we thought, I wonder if people will do this. So we literally put a post on Facebook. We found a castle. We started looking for some dungeon masters, and people really, really resonated with this idea. People came out of the woodwork so excited by this dream that Cam had from childhood, really, and that seemed to be shared by so many people, and it really just meets that need. And really, the rest is history. I could go on a long time, but here we are.
Amazing. And so this dream of Cam's became one of your own. Tell us a little bit about what it is about D&D in a Castle that's really special for you.
So I think actually what's really special about D&D in a Castle is the people. It's the community. It's the bonds that form through the kind of interaction that we have when we're playing. It's the immersion and the setting that allows us all to be together, to be cared for, to be taken care of, to be given the space to play and to really laugh together, really have that experience of going on a journey together and without being taken out of it. It's immersive. You're here the whole time doing nothing but the campaign, the adventure that you're on. And there's not a lot like that. There's not a lot like that where you make the vacation. It's not passive. You're actively involved in it. And you don't have any other responsibilities. And no one is canceling. And no one is not showing up to the session. And you're with other people you can be yourself with, who immediately get you and who want the same experience that you do.
Wow. Yep, I can see how that's a powerful thing for people to come and experience. And like you said, co-create. Right? At the table, being a player, you're not just there passively bringing it in, you're actively creating it. Speaking of immersive storytelling, next we're going to bring in Jayden King, the sovereign of storytelling and tonight's Dungeon Master of Dungeon Masters. Jayden is celebrated for his anime-inspired tales that entwine souls and whisk minds on enigmatic journeys. Jayden is about to DM his third table here at D&D in a Castle as of this recording. So Jayden, as we know, every adventure has its turning points. Not telling us at all about tonight's game, Can you share with us a tale of a pivotal moment at D&D in a Castle that changed the course of one of your games and impacted the play?
See, that's a tough one because there's a lot of options, especially third game. But I think I'm gonna have to go with perhaps the most recent one. The premise of the story being that the world had become a playground for the gods, where they set up apocalypse, and all the characters lost their patron, their pack. They became unmagical, and everyone had to choose new gods to make deals with to get whatever their power they want back. Even fighters, to be as skilled as they were, had to choose gods. And so they were going through, each player after every so many sessions would choose a god because it was the only way to level up. If you didn't choose a god, you couldn't level up. And going through that process, there was one character who refused to subscribe to any god. They got released from their Warlock Pact. It was like, I'm free, I refuse. And this continued on and on and on. And there was like this entity that would curate the game of like, for the gods, it was the showman, the host. And at the final moments, what would be like the Colosseum thing, when everybody was dying, this character was like, I will accept to choose someone. And I'm like, oh, all the gods are interested. They've been waiting for you to pick someone. You're the last few champion. Who will you pick? And then she chose to be like, I choose the Game Master. And I was like, me and the NPC were shocked. Like, you choose I choose the one running this game, which is a meta concept because it was supposed to be a game master running the game master. So inadvertently, the character chose the game master in the game, and the player chose me as their patron. And I was shocked, but they went to go outside of the rules of the game and chose to side with the system itself. And because of that, it came to the point that normally they have limitations. Their souls would be all taken, but the game master is not allowed to. So when everything was ending, they're the only character that was allowed to actually face the end and like rewrite the history of the apocalypse by choosing not to choose. Right? Change the whole narrative. They were supposed to fight the apocalypse and lose and have a redemption moment, but they couldn't die because they stepped outside of the rules of the game.
Yeah. Just completely shattering it.
Just shattered, and decided to say, hey, I'm taking over the game. And it flipped the whole narrative in a moment. I had to actually give us a break while they were like leveling up to be like, what do we do now? What do you? And they had to face the system because that was all that was left. I was like, congratulations, you face the rules. Yeah, it was intense.
So then preparing for something like that must be pretty difficult, but at the same time, it's probably pretty exciting to just wait and discover what's about to happen. So tell me a little bit about when you're at home getting ready to come to D&D in a Castle. What are the thoughts that are going through your mind, maybe along the lines of like, what is it that gets you excited or what gets you buzzing about this?
I have three things I try to get on my notes, no matter what, with every character. I want to know what would be the most traumatic thing their character can experience. I want to experience what is the most redeeming thing they would do to overcome that. And what is the most heroic thing they are mechanically capable of, and make that a narrative possibility. If a paladin can have an aura, then I want to lean into that possibility. If a warlock is a patron, what is that patron's highest peak potential, and how can that character overcome that? Because I want the players to experience their character's highs and lows and take them through that journey of feeling that there is nothing left to live for and still doing it anyway. And then coming out with more than they've ever thought they could have by the end.
Oh. Wow. Well, I mean, I feel like you just gave me a big secret of what it means to run an incredible, unforgettable game of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's the anime in it. Go big, go home, explode it, and do it again.
Yeah, incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, woo!
And next up, we're going to call forward Beth the Bard. Beth is known for building enchanting worlds and weaving intensely emotional adventures, as well as publishing the platinum bestseller, She is the Ancient, A Gender-Bent Curse of Strahd. Coming up now on her 4th round of DMing at D&D in a Castle, Beth's tales have drawn tears from many of our castle adventurers. Beth, your sessions are known for their deep emotional resonance. Can you tell us a tale of a time at D&D in a Castle when the setting of Lumley Castle amplified the emotional stakes of your campaign's narrative?
Well, I would say every time, because this setting naturally lends very well to high emotions. So if I could use an example, I grew up going to like church camps on like certain weekends throughout the year, and there was like a level of hype that would happen over the course of that because everybody was like locked in together, like vibing. This is like more than that. This is everyone comes together, everyone is completely focused on this game, and it like yeah.
Yeah, you get lost in it, right?
Yeah.
And you hyped up so much that it seems like the rest of the world disappears as you're here.
Nothing else matters. Yeah.
Math.
I don't even answer my phone.
And why would you? You have better things to focus on, right? You're telling a story with those that are around the table with you. So with that, why don't you tell us a little bit of what it is that, for you, makes you want to come back here and meet the next round of people? Why is it that you want to spend time with just 6 people, 24 hours over the course of 4 days? What is it that draws you to that moment?
I like making new best friends. Everybody that I have run games for, I've become very close to, and I like that a lot.
Well, we're so grateful to have you joining us and being on our roster here at D&D in a Castle, and being here tonight to play this game. So thank you so much, Beth the Bard. Next, we have Elisa Teague, a master of puzzles and narrative with too many credits to list in a 4-hour time slot.
That's funny.
Known for her work on Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, Elisa even brought Tasha to D&D in a Castle by taking up the character in the Trial of Darkness in our opening night just last round. She is about to DM her 9th event, once again enchanting players with her ingenious plots. Elisa, you are one of our most frequent DMs at D&D in a Castle, and you've even had repeat guests come back to play at your table multiple times. I mean, it's such a gift to us, and folks want to know, what is it that keeps bringing you back to D&D in a Castle?
What keeps bringing me back? Well, honestly, I love the castle. I love the staff, and I love the family that this event creates. For me, I'm a game designer, and so I spend all of my days making games for other people to play. And then I am a player. I've been playing D&D since I was 13 years old, and I get the opportunity to play in a weekly game when I'm not traveling to different conventions for work. Every weekend, I still get together with my same group of friends for nearly 3 decades, and I get to play. But I do know from talking to others that a lot of people don't have that same play group. But here at the castle, they get that.
Yeah.
And I think, at least from the people who have come back and played with me again, it's not just that I've been rebooked by occasional people who keep joining my tables. I get players who band together, who met here, and then say, we want to play together again, and they come back. So this coming up session, I have 4 players that played with me just in November. And they were not originally planning to come back so soon, but they've become such great friends. Just meeting in November, they've become such great friends that they, outside of anything from me, decided to come back and come back and play at my table again. And so for me, that is what this event creates. It creates play groups for people, where I've heard people equate this to like a summer camp, right? And everybody who comes, when we see each other again, we all know each other. We all recognize each other. We're a family, and we get to play together, and we get to have this experience together. And for me, that brings out such passion in me, because I don't get to DM a lot. Generally speaking, I make the games that people DM. And this is my hands-on way of doing that. Being able to see my puzzles in real life on the table, not just hear the stories of people playing them. I get to do it. I get to, run the things that I write the way that I want to run them, and then see the joy on people's faces and the tears I do make people cry, but in a good way. And yeah, I get to experience it all alongside of people that I bond with. It's amazing.
Yeah. And just a quick note on that, the 4 that are coming to your table this next round, they come from all over. They're not a group that know each other or even locally in one country. They're coming from, I think, 3 different countries.
3 different countries.
Yeah.
Again, they met, 2 of them knew each other, and I have now played with 3 of them at 3 separate tables.
Oh, really?
Including one player who just played with me this last week.
Oh, yeah.
And came and played in November. This is a dedicated player. Played in November with me.
Yeah.
Played last week with me, and is playing this coming up week with me. And so yeah, they're from all over the world. I've played with people from everywhere, as far as Australia, Germany. I mean, yes, there are people from England, but the States, everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's super fun.
Yeah, well, definitely. Thank you so much, Elisa. Like I said,
you.
it's just a gift to us. Every time you come back, we are honored to have you with us.
I will always come back.
Amazing. Next, we'd like to call forward Mark Meer. Mark Meer's characters and voices are as legendary as castles themselves. Best known for his work as Commander Shepard in BioWare's Mass Effect trilogy, and here at D&D in a Castle, having DM'd a full 11 going on 12 D&D in a Castle events. Mark's sessions are nothing short of an adventure in themselves. Mark, come forward, please, and take a seat.
Well, thank you. I was going to hold back while you said nice things.
Well, we're happy to say as many nice things as we can.
Please go on. I've got all night.
Tara, what do you have to say about Mark?
Mark's eyebrows alone are legendary.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you have a question for me?
Of course I do, yes. Mark, the D&D in a Castle environment here that has been crafted together over the number of years now that you've been involved. It provides a unique sense of camaraderie among players and even DMs alike. So can you share with us a tale about a connection or friendship that has formed in the castle, but that has impacted you even outside of the game?
Yes, I can, as a matter of fact. One that's kind of pertinent to D&D in a Castle as a whole. So the very first castle that I did was this one, Lumley Castle, in 2019. And so that was the first time I was a DM here. And among my player group was a gentleman by the name of Mike Kinney. Now, unbeknownst to me and the players, and he wanted to keep it on the down low, Mike had a career as an executive in the TTRPG industry and worked for White Wolf. And he didn't know this either going in, but I'd based my Ravenloft venture rather heavily on the old Ravenloft Gazetteers, which had been published by White Wolf. So we all had a good laugh about that afterwards, and it was a great game, lots of fun, and we did become friends. And subsequently, Mike has become directly involved as part of the team here at D&D the Castle.
Right.
What would you describe his position?
Oh, he's on the board.
Yes, he is on the board.
And he also has taken on several of the different roles at the castle, including being our very first hardcore mode DM.
That's right.
Running 52 hours of D&D over 4 days. It's hard to imagine that can fit.
And slightly before that, of course, Mike also was running what we were calling Air D&D, or Gaming at the Lake. Mike has a very nice lake house at Lake Sinclair in Georgia. And so he brought not only me, but also folks like B. Dave Walters, Malcolm Gersh, brought us in for weekends to play, weekend-long campaigns at his lake house.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a very nice facility. And of course, he's got a boat. You can take the guests out on the lake. And he's got a garage which has been converted into a fantastic gaming lair with like a bar at one end and a billiard table. And now more and more sort of gaming stuff, like paintings of all the campaigns that we've been in. And that has actually, at least on a trial basis, been taken under the wing of D&D in a Castle.
That's right.
And we are calling that D&D Weekend.
That's exactly right.
I'll be doing another one of those coming up in May.
Yeah, that's actually our very next event as Tabletop Vacations.
And it's all because I was such a great DM. No, of course. Mike is a great DM in his own right and a lover of tabletop role-playing games and Dungeons & Dragons in particular. So, yes, that is somebody who has become a friend of mine after being at my table.
Incredible. Yeah, that certainly bubbled out well beyond that particular.
Indeed, most definitely.
Well, Mark, we are truly blessed by your presence here at the
Thanks.
And we thank you for everything that you offer, and we look forward to having you back many more times.
Okay, yeah, I should go. I got to go put on a costume.
Thank you so much, Mark. We'd love to next bring up Guy Sklanders, a storyteller extraordinaire, known for his YouTube channel, How to Be a Great GM, and he now has 5 going on 6 D&D in a Castle events to his name. Guy's narratives and knowledge are as deep as the castle's dungeons, and Guy, as a historian, as an historian, shouldn't I? You're intimately familiar with the way that buildings tell stories. We've all been inspired by the knowledge you share with us about these very halls here at Lumley Castle with your guided tours. How do you find Lumley Castle inspiring to you as you weave your adventures here within its walls?
I mean, you've got 2,000 years worth of invasion, murder, betrayal, backstab, invasion. I mean, how can you not be inspired? When you look around, every room has history just seeping out.
Yeah.
The inspiration is that you look outside the grounds and suddenly, oh yes, well that church was built because the Vikings invaded. And then you look over there and you go, well yes, that fireplace ripped against the spot. You can't not just take it all in, just be swept away into the land of fantasy that's right here.
Yeah.
I mean, love.
Yep, you're standing in the history, really.
Yeah, and making it too.
And making it at the same time, yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. So then, for you, Guy, I know it's maybe a little bit shorter of a transit from some of the others that we've seen, and so we know that you're steeped in this land that has a deep history that involves castles. And so, for those of us from North America, we have a certain an enchanted view of what it means to be in a castle. So from somebody on the English side, or the Angleterre, what is it about you that's maybe particularly charming about this castle, or how we use the castle for these events that's outside of the norm of how castles are seen here in Britain?
Gosh. Well, Lumley Castle, it's much more comfortable than most.
Okay.
I mean, but that is, there are so many different little spaces of so many different time periods that are just present. You can just imagine Romans marching past on parade, and then suddenly a carriage with crazy people in big wigs pulling up to the front gate. And it's not difficult to imagine. You can stand there. When you're having breakfast in the morning, you're looking out over a view that has been looked out over 100 years.
Yeah.
And so when you come here specifically, it's such a wonderful environment to be in. And you know, it's just so. I mean, just look at this room as well. That it's hard not to be inspired and fall in love with everything. And when you are describing, oh, you're in this large chamber, this high vaulted ceiling, you can look up and see a high vaulted ceiling, or in this case, an ornate ceiling. Words fail because it's here. It's real. It's
tangible
not
right
fantasy.
around you.
You call it a fantasy holiday. It's not. It's a real holiday in a real castle. That's just really awesome.
Yeah. Well, amazing. Thank you, Guy. Yeah, we are delighted to have you join us when you do. And again, we always look forward to what you bring with you with your enthusiasm and knowledge and crafted stories. We definitely look forward to the next time we're going to have you here in these halls again.
Cannot wait.
Thanks so much. And next, we're going to bring forward our twist. Chris Hately is with us. He's known for his jaw-dropping wording and gut-dropping plot twists. Chris, having just run his first D&D in a Castle campaign to great acclaim, has been supporting the D&D in a Castle event as a team member for 12 rounds already. So Chris, being involved as you have been, and for as long as you have, tell us, what is it that makes D&D in a Castle the event special?
So very specifically for me, I'm local to the event, and the Northeast doesn't get a huge amount of things like this. Like the idea that people like Mark Meer or Guy Sklanders or Elisa Teague, JCM, are just in a castle literally a stone's throw away from where I grew up, it really can't be understated. Like there is a reason bands enjoy the reception they get when they come to the Northeast. It's because not many people come to the Northeast. They go to Manchester, they go to Birmingham, they go to all manner of different places. So having D&D in a Castle in Chestler Street is very special to me specifically because it's my hometown.
Yes.
It really is meaningful. And it kind of blows my mind that I get to be a part of it. Very specifically, for the players, the thing that, and for the DMs that I've spoken to, the castle itself is just a beautiful example of the type of thing that we have in the UK, that we're very lucky to have in the UK. The staff are fantastic. The rooms are absolutely gorgeous to play in and to run in. It's just a wonderful thing. I've enjoyed being able to be a part of games that I'm not playing in through custom miniature painting, through being able to chat with the guests around the paint table, which tends to be where I live. Being able to run one-shots for people, and then having people that I've never met before who weren't at the table come up and talk to me about the game that I just ran.
Yeah.
The community aspect of that, and the fact that people news of your game gets out to people has been.
And it reached pretty far. If I remember correctly, there were several of those one-shots that you ran that had DMs at the castle decide to join in and sit in on your game.
Yes, it's a long-running joke between me and Elisa that she really wants to play in one of my games, and just we're like ships in the night. She is like 7 rounds in, we have yet to actually get a game going.
We have faith it'll happen soon.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
No doubt. Well, and I'm glad you mentioned, of course, your mini painting, and you've supported us in so many different facets, from just the simple moving things around the event to 3D printing to mini painting. It was certainly a joy to me, but I know it's been a joy for our team to discover and realize that you are of the caliber of DMs that we want to have running games here at this castle, because people that come to your table walk away with an unforgettable gaming experience. So I want to thank you for those many different facets that you offer, and I want to also just say how delighted I am that you're now running games here at D&D in a Castle.
It is legitimately my pleasure, and if any of my games are half as entertaining, half as emotionally devastating as the one that I just ran, I will be here for a very long time.
Amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much, Chris.
No, thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow. Let us go back to Tara here. We can't get enough of an opportunity to hear a little bit of the history of D&D in a Castle, but the truth is there's also a forward direction that we're looking here too. So, Tara, you've established this unique venture about, again, 6 years ago with Cameron, but what does it feel like to be at this round of D&D in a Castle 6 years later, and how does it compare with the first?
Wow, compared to the first, the whole world. When we started, we really had no idea. It was just an experiment. I mean, when we began, we thought my brother Cam and maybe some of his friends from high school would be running the games. We had no idea. We were pretty ignorant, to be honest, that there were, celebrity dungeon masters, kind of a very new idea, and that they would come out to our thing. As an event planner, it's always really almost bizarre when you plan something, you had a dream and a vision, and then people show up in that dream. People are completely unrelated to me. I don't know who they are. They just heard about this dream and wanted to be in it, and then they just show up in my dream. So that feeling is always very exciting and strange and humbling, very humbling, actually, that people would gift their time to something that I just love. So it's an enormous amount of trust in that. We have a lot of people that come for special events, milestones. We've had a lot of 50th birthdays, we've had a lot of anniversaries, honeymoons we've had.
Especially, yeah.
Yeah, so that people would trust us with that is a real honor, and it's very, very humbling. In terms of this event versus previous events, year over year, have learned a lot every time that we do it.
Of course.
Constantly reflecting, constantly refining, constantly consulting with everyone involved, whether it's our guests, our DMs, our staff, find ways to enhance, to remove anything that would take you out of that experience.
Right.
Remove anything that would detract from utter joy that this experience is. And so every time we do it, I feel it gets a little better. And so every time we have an event, I say, that was the best event we've ever had. And I genuinely mean it, because it does get more and more polished, developed every time. And we just have I'm just so grateful. We have such wonderful people, we have wonderful staff that we've discovered over the years. We have such incredible DMs. It's stunning to me that they keep coming back. And that's not lost on me. I'm so touched by that they keep coming back and sharing their talent, their experience, and their humor and their time with us and with our guests. They're such a treasure. I love them so much. I really can't say that enough.
Yeah, it's quite true. And the jewel that comes to D&D in a castle, that sure, it's 6 people around a table playing at your table, but even more so, seeing the generosity of our DMs, choosing to go eat meals with their tables, and choosing to, even hang out in the library bar late at night, and just to chat about what they've experienced together. I find it quite touching that people choose to, not people, sorry, rather our DMs choose to spend that time.
Yeah, they are, talk about these DMs, and they are some of them legit celebrities. They're genuinely very renowned, very accomplished human beings, and yet at their core, they're just nerds who like to play D&D, and it's very exciting in this environment. And they are indeed so, as you say, generous, and they're excited to dream for them as well, I think. And so try to make them as welcome and try to be as good to them as we can be to make them happy. But at their heart, they just want to play. And just really, I think so nice. Bring gifts to each other. There was a guy here this round who made candy for everyone, themed candy. He made
gelatinous
cube gummies, as well as a bunch of other things. That was probably the most dramatic. But people are really, really invested. They really, really want to create this. They all want to contribute to it from everyone that are involved. So when you have that together, and that kind of everybody here,
it does. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of that as well, and I think that magic has momentum. And so my last question for you tonight is, can you give us a glimpse of what's on the horizon for D&D in a Castle? What dream do you have now that you didn't have 6 years ago?
The fact that it's continued at all is just, as some might know, started the first time in Castle USA. So coming across the water and outside. So global expansion potentially. I don't know how far that will go. Different formats. I
like to think of it more as like bringing it home rather than global.
Okay, sure. But castle-wise,
the
D&D part coming home. The castle's expanding. So there's a bridge happening there anyway, making it as available to people as it can. There are people who can't travel across the ocean for a variety, aren't able, so being able to do that a little bit closer to home, Elisa mentioned, people do travel from all over the world for this event. It's not an event that, show up in every location, and there just aren't castles enough for that. But, yeah.
Does help for it to be closer to home.
It does. Although people who live in this prefer to come to the genuine article. So, kind of does. So, expanding and different formats that developing them a bit less formal, less just for days, and much smaller. One country and have all the grandeur of a castle, but still has all the details. In the end, this is about creating the greatest.
Yeah, exactly.
And we think that happens in the castle, but it can happen a lot of different places. So.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly the point we want to land on, is that not only the greatest game of D&D is the goal, but the greatest game of D&D for you, those of you that are watching this. And that's where all these tales, we hope, help give you a picture of how coming to D&D in a Castle can offer that to you. So thank you to Tara. Thank you to all of our Dungeon Masters here tonight for sharing their tales from D&D in a Castle. And I have to tell you that what you've heard really is just a glimpse into the magic of D&D in a Castle, and a glimpse of what you can experience by joining us at an upcoming event. So visit dndinacastle.com, dndinacastle.com, and learn more about what we have on offer right now, and consider joining us for one of these adventures. And until we meet again, may your stories be grand and your adventures unforgettable. Farewell, and see you at D&D in a Castle.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Tales from the Castle and got a taste of the incredible experience that D&D in a Castle has to offer. Now, for those just joining us, we're live from Lumley Castle, embarking on a first-of-a-kind actual play event where we share the magic of D&D in a Castle with the world. Tonight is special because it's more than just gameplay. It's a celebration of the community, creativity, and immersive adventures that define D&D in a Castle. Brought to you by Tabletop Vacations. At D&D in a Castle, adventures like these are crafted by our talented dungeon masters. Fresh from weaving their 3-day campaigns filled with intrigue, bravery, epic battles, they're gearing up to guide new parties of adventurers on epic quests for round 2 of this April 2024 event. Now, let's take a moment to hear a brief overview of their campaign's epic finale. So we're going to go through, and how did you end your last campaign?
Well, during the course of my campaign, the entire party was given a chance to draw from the deck of many things. 2 of them wisely declined. 4 of them were not so wise, but they were lucky because 3 of them got fantastic draws. Really, no downside to those draws. The last person who drew managed to pull the skull card, which of course meant that the Avatar of Death was going to show up and destroy them. Of course, as you know, if you try to assist someone who has drawn that card, you'll get your own Avatar of Death. Even though they were told that, the paladin of the party insisted on joining in the battle, so we had 2 of my party facing off against 2 Avatars of Death, who they destroyed in a single round.
Wow. Bit overpowered, but they made it through. I guess it works. Guy?
Well, my wonderful party, having tracked down the source of a titanic explosion, which rocked the world that they were in, ended up fighting in a very large caldera of a volcano that was filling up with lava, whilst bodies and angelic blood was pouring down around them. And they weren't fighting Avatars of Death, but they were death was nearby, very, very, very nearby. But they managed to triumph and escape with just some singed feathers.
That is exciting. And Elisa?
My party, after realizing that something was making the king and queen act mighty funny, finally discovered that mind flayers had come to all of Toril and actually every plane of existence, and they were enacting a plan to terraform each planet using a giant elder brain as its core. And so they needed to find where they were drilling into the center of Toril and installing the elder brain, and then defeat it through a series of puzzles and other quests, including figuring out that this was the reason that the food supply was being driven from the area, and all of the beasts were leaving the forest where this was being drilled. They discovered that the only way that their tiny little, mostly low-level party were going to be able to defeat these invaders was to, create some sort of an army which the mind flayers could not actually attack or do anything about. They remembered that there was a cavern that had an ogre's den in it, that they were trying to appease the ogres from raiding the nearby farms because they had no game to hunt, that was filled with all of the adventurers' bones who came before them that could not beat the ogres. And they realized that if they gathered up all of those bones, they could assemble roughly 6 skeletons, whom they threw off the side of a cliff, then went down to the bottom of the cliff and used a spell that they were able to put together by visiting the ancient home of a mighty sorcerer to command mass undead and bring in this huge skeleton undead army to the fight, distracting the mind flayers, giving them just enough time to fend them off, kill 2 smaller elder brains, and save at least Toril for now.
That was incredible. And Chris?
My players were TPK'd immediately by the gigantic beholder Daggershat, he who dreams. And while the story I told was one of revenge as they traveled across the Astral Sea, finding allies and working out where exactly Daggershat was so they could make it back to the temple that they were first killed in to kill the beholder. The real story that came from the game organically was that of Falala, the Cyclops, with a terminal wasting disease, who was using his last few years to adventure, and how the rest of the party came to terms with the fact that nothing that they did would save him, leading to many tears around the table. One of the most engaging and incredibly meaningful games I've ever played. And this wonderful mini that will live forever in my collection, that of Falala in his stone statue form.
Oh, such a somber end. And Beth?
Mine's a lot simpler. Demonomicon, TPK.
You know, that's a power move to keep it simple but yet direct. And mine ended with the players fighting against all odds in a Hunger Games experience of all the gods, betting on which of their champions would win for the party to eventually try and defeat the Apocalypse, child of one of the Sisters of Fate and the Grim Reaper, to rewrite history so that the child born with the power to cause an apocalypse has no magic so that she can live a normal life, eliminating the party from the memory and existence of the world. Truly a delightful end, and for some, more tragic with Demonomicons, and adventure awaits in many ways. And if you want to be part of any of these or other epic tales, check out D&D in a Castle and embark on your epic saga. And for now, let us weave back into the one that these GMs are now players for, as they got to take their time regaling the tales of besting 3 Hydras, 18 heads, all being ridden by a single Baelor who was able to do so, and recounting the story to eventually get a new job for more money, something strange happens. A trembling, screams, terror, and the only thing more terrifying than a hydra, perhaps, is a bear with shark with arms. As it barreled through the city streets of Baldur's Gate, the party attempting to best it, beat it, face it, confront it, inquire about it, and learn something a little more than they probably were prepared. That this bear was indeed once a person that was turned into one and forced to be stitched together with sharks for arms, begging for help, and a strange pair of displacer kittens attracting their attention, one of which speaking from the voice of Sven, the same individual that helped him find the Hydra so they could, well, complete a job, asking them to help, to come to the sewers, knowing that other creatures, like the bear with shark arms, might be. With a simple set sail on the dock, through the canals, into the sewers of Baldur's Gate's lower city, we find the party attempting to navigate and preparing for unknown monstrosities. So as we take into this moment, you all are able to land onto the dock that seems to be set where the displacer kitten kind of guided you towards, and continues forward, and before you is a seemingly which looks like a ledge-like ladder that leads into a little tunnel that you could presume leads to other parts of the sewer. So it's only enough room for one person at a time. So who is going to enter the pathway first?
Certainly not me, no. I would remind you, friends, that we've seen all manner of abominations in our time, but nothing to compare with a bear with sharks for arms. Who knows what might await us in there? We might run into a rhinoctopus. We run into a crocahawk. It's hard to say, but I won't be going in first. I think someone a little more sturdy might
I push this guy.
Oh,
I'm pushing
my last time going first, it did not go well. I was going to ask. Oh, okay.
I could
Boss,
just go
I was.
Okay, because I am very, very tiny and also can hide in the shadows. Also, since you've been adventuring with me for some time, you know that I can report back into your minds without talking, so maybe I should scout ahead. But if you want to do the foolish thing, just go get killed. I don't care!
Hold up there, Winifred. Now, I appreciate your initiative, but I think that perhaps you might be correct there.
It smells really bad in here. Can I come out yet?
Oh, it smells bad? No, maybe you go.
Oh no, please. Please, miss.
If you like. With a gesture, he prestidigitates so that you are surrounded by the smell of an orange that's been studded with cloves.
Oh,
God,
I like this.
Oh my God, what is that?
I like this smell. Okay, I will put it around my... If I put it around my neck, like on a string...
Oh, no, it's not physical. It's just you're surrounded by that
just
smell.
by the smell.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm fine.
And Winifred, you wanted to add something?
Did the man bear shark win?
No, the man bear shark was left behind. Seemingly had to
Bleeding from the arms.
bleeding from the arms and possibly at the mercy of any mob that decided to come by.
Well, I mean, we know the innkeeper. Maybe they can put him in the back, give him a
Just hide him back there with the
dish of water and honey or something.
I believe so. A little water, honey for the bear. No more chum needed for the shark parts.
I did have a question before why a bear and shark are?
Well, who can fathom the mind of a crazed wizard, which is clearly what we're dealing with, unless it's a fiend or some other kind of beastie.
I mean, in truth, why not?
Well, a bear's got really short legs, no offense.
Well, don't you understand there, friend?
I
The
have
eternal
very long
question.
legs for my height.
The eternal question that has often been asked around tables at pubs late at night. Bear versus shark, who would win? And I think that it's clear whoever did this foul thing wanted to resolve that debate in the flesh.
Right. Who's going first then?
Which I believe is
Chala.
Hosha.
Oh, yeah.
Choshech.
Hosha.
Choshech.
I definitely
Hosha.
do not shove her
I will
in. I
follow
stand to the
Hosha.
side very afraid.
Hush.
Hush.
As the
It
first
means
one,
dark.
you come up.
I also have a very good stealth bonus.
No.
Well, then come with me, but
Oh,
stop.
no, sorry.
I
I'm
already
a...
tried to push you in. You didn't like that.
It's echoing.
Quiet, friends.
Oh, no,
Quiet,
I
don't
must-
know. We can't afford to do what we usually do, which is screw around for hours before we get anything done.
But I thought that was the way to do things.
You
Ah.
speak for yourself.
No. Screwing around. Yep, definitely.
Always screw.
It was the first thing he told me.
I will walk ahead.
Upon your first arrival, go ahead and give me your perception check as you enter a relatively, it seems to be pretty dark.
If I'm stood relatively close behind and she is roughly half my height, may I also perceive?
I would say you could be like climbing right behind in the
Oh,
little
okay, cool.
shaft.
Sorry, no, yeah, that's fine.
So with the give me the perception.
17.
17. As you kind of come down the ladder from that extra tunnel, there are two paths you can vaguely see, only because you get a soft illumination from something glowing just below. Like a few steps ahead, there seems to be a grate that has this faint, maybe purple, like maybe lavender light that seems to be emanating, and you hear the sounds of water dripping and the groans of people just echoing.
Right here.
Right below. It seems to be echoing. You have such a loud echo, you know it seems to go for quite some time with the amount of echoes that are coming your direction.
Good news, everybody. You hear in your heads.
How you doing, Judge?
I believe that the hostages are, or victims, are being held right next to the door, which is terribly convenient. Almost too convenient is what I'm thinking. But
It's a trap.
there is a glowing purple grate here. Does anybody know what this is? Glowing purple. I look creepy, but I do not practice in many magics.
No, is this a two-way communication we have with you?
Oh, I don't think so, actually.
Well, then we don't answer
Somebody
any of
with
your
magic, come check out this grate while I scout ahead.
As Jean says, they were following behind, and eventually would be the first one to come through.
He's a smart lad. He'll probably figure it out. Then.
I
Or
have no
not.
idea what this is.
That's because you are a fighter, my friend. Magic. That's only you, right? Yes. Okay.
I don't think they'll be very.
Well, I need Winifred. Winifred, come up and check out the grate and so I will go ahead down the hallway. Oh God, there are two ways.
Yep, you can either head to your left or to your right. It doesn't seem to have any distinction of which way leads anywhere specific.
I will go left because I always go left.
Okay, you'll start heading left as Winifred and Jean, you are here on top of the grate. You're the same.
Detect magic.
Detect magic. 30 foot gives you an aura. You are able to detect two sources of magic outside of your party. One that is in front of you along the floor, almost as if the small bit of water that's running down has something magical about it. And below you, there is a small, and it feels, and from your sight, maybe a small softball-sized aura. Perhaps at the edge of that 30-foot distance in the grate.
Turn to everyone.
It has magic. There's magic here. You're welcome.
I know this is why I called you here, and then she just disappears into the darkness. I just want to scout this whole area
Okay.
while they're trying to work on the grate and come back and report.
As you hit that first corner, you're entering an area that is completely pitch black. Do you have dark vision?
No, but I have a torch.
Okay. Upon lighting the torch, you are immediately met with the light of your flame ignites the area, showing the tunnels, which have been seemingly recently cleaned. And perhaps maybe 30 to 40 feet down, you get a light reflecting back as you see a metallic shell upon a large bovine-like creature, but only seeing its hind behind.
Oh.
in front of you.
Then I immediately plunge the torch into the water,
Okay.
like the sewer gross water.
Yep.
And hide.
Okay.
Is it the sewer gross water that is magic?
There is magic in the, from where you're standing, the sewer gross water seems to have some magic to it.
Hosha, is there anything there?
As Hosha comes back to the grate,
Hosha.
the rest of the team just beneath in the tunnel behind.
I know you are new, but you should be able to say my name by now.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Hosha.
I'm sorry, it is the accent.
Hosha.
Hosha.
Yeah, it's better. Next time, maybe though.
Have you returned to us?
Yeah. No, I will. I'll sneak back and say, there is something over there. It looks shiny and metallic and like a bull,
Looks like, from what you can see, it looked roughly like a bull.
like a bull.
Like a mechanical bull, like you'd find in like a cowboy bar.
I've never seen such a thing.
Does
a
it-
mechanical bull.
Does
Sounds fun.
it look like a valuable bull?
It looks
A valuable.
Valuable.
looked like a scary creature that I don't want to sell, but I want to kill. So let's go kill.
So it's not the cat.
This whole conversation, by the way, the moment Hoshech turns left, I turn right, but stand there, just kind of watching.
Just immediate, right?
Yeah, just to keep an eye on anything coming up the
Okay.
that way.
You keep eyes on the right. You see nothing that far. Do you also? It's pretty dark as you look further down.
Yeah.
Do you also reveal a torch?
I do not.
Okay. Do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay. You have about a visibility of maybe about 15 feet where you're standing, just from the soft glow coming from this tunnel, the grate beneath you.
Cool. In that case, I will hide the best that I can.
Okay. You feel you can hide comfortably here in this darkness.
Did it look like the bull was hiding? Or did it look like it was patrolling?
I did not give it enough time to see me, to
Was
be
it-
able to see what it was doing. But if we go down there all together, surprise it, kill it, then we can figure it out after.
No, by any chance, this bull wasn't going, help me, like that bear thing was earlier.
We did not have a conversation.
Yes. All right.
Because I'll tell you why.
Hosha.
I'd rather just kill it now.
Of course. And now, Hosha. They say it right.
Hosha.
Hosha.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for calling you Hala earlier, because I think that's actually one of the daughters from Fiddler on the Roof.
I think you are right. I've never seen such a movie, but it
Oh,
sounds
I've seen many a Fiddler and many a Roof of the
magnificent.
Bard. Yes, of course. So,
Could you regale me a song?
well, I'm more of the shanty bard myself. But tell you what, why don't you go on ahead, see if you can draw a bead on it. You, of course, will be the backup, the muscle, and I'll be the brains of the operation, holding back at a considerable distance, but probably within 30 to 60 feet. Have you noticed that if you're within 30 feet, almost everything works, but if you're 31 feet away from something, then nothing works?
It's fascinating.
It's as
I
you're having
have
this
noticed
conversation.
this.
Here. No, please. I don't want to go next. Please. You hear a loud thunk.
Oh, this is terrible.
All right.
Okay,
Look at us
this
screwing
is what
around
I'm
like we
going to
said we
do.
weren't good.
Okay, you will be my backup. I cannot see, so
yes,
this
I
is what's
can.
going to happen. I'm going to run my hand along the wall so I know how far away from the wall I go, while listening carefully as I step very carefully. I can stealth and listen using my perception for listening, because you know what I have found. Speaking of 30 versus 31 feet, a lot of people don't realize you can perceive things in other ways that are not visually based.
True enough.
And so I'm going to listen my way down the hallway in the dark.
Winifred.
Apparently, I have dark.
Yeah, so you and I follow along.
You are not. You can see. I just can't.
Yeah. And I'm
gonna take
super
him
stealthy.
butt, though.
No one ever hears me coming.
Okay. So I'm hearing that the bulk of the party is heading towards the left. We're heading.
Yeah. John, you should probably look out for an ambush from behind.
This I will do.
My theory here is that we take care of the guards before breaking the people
What guard?
out. Well, I'm
The
assuming.
valuable.
I'm
thought there was-
assuming the bull is a guard of some sort since he's free. If he was not free, then maybe he was innocent. But if he's free roaming around, he's probably guarding. No.
Is it Roman valuable? All right.
Now that there is the fine example
Ah,
of
and
deductive
we called
reasoning.
you our
You
leader
need
for
not
so
worry
long.
about that, my friend.
Okay.
All right.
But this is what we do.
So, my understanding is Horsha is going,
Hoshech.
Horsha is going forward, right hand on the wall, followed with Tuskor,
Yeah, 31 feet.
31 feet,
Except I can't count, so it's probably like 25.
25 feet. And you're keeping which hand? Right hand or left hand?
Oh my.
Because you're saying you're keeping it on a wall,
I'm keeping my right hand
on the right wall.
On the
on
sewer
the right
wall?
wall
Jeez.
because my left hand holds my bow.
Okay.
And then if I need to let go of the wall, I pull an arrow and loose.
Okay. It's at this point, as I will make a small adjustment, you will be able to continue going as your two companions are kind of following
When it's
behind.
right in front of me, you give me a quiet sign.
Yeah.
Caw.
I don't think there's a bull here at all.
And now I see that we have a man standing guard there, so we needn't worry about something coming up behind. So I'll be about, I'd say about 10 feet or so behind them. Certainly not rounding the corner until I see if they get destroyed or shot.
Okay. You continue walking down the sewer path,
Where's your boat?
seemingly feeling safe about it.
I can't say. I'm listening for him.
Yeah. I need for Duskort and Winifred to give me perception.
Ooh.
I cannot listen.
You can give me that perception.
15.
30-20.
And I'm proficient in it.
21.
21. With a 21,
Drip,
you can
drip.
hear the sound of the drips of water and the sound of this metal clanking and grindingly roll, almost like metal rolling, which is heard for the dirty 20 just behind Winifred and Tuskor. Just in enough vague angle. Does Captain Flit have dark vision? Are you having a torch?
Oh no, I'm making the way in the words they it's everything like that. No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be setting up a flare. That's the word. No, I'm relying on the sound of end and the move. But you know, I know the wall is probably a bit, how do you say, poopy. But I'll probably use the same sort of technique.
Okay.
Anyway, along the wall, and I like to stealthy what I do.
Give me your stealth.
That is a 50.
15. Noted. So, specifically to Tuskor, you are the first to be able to notice it. Winifred, you are not able to notice it immediately. You hear the sound, but you're unable to determine where specific kind of is echoing towards both sides around the chamber behind you and in front. You do hear it, and it's close. You just can't mark its specific location.
Ambush to the left, John! And I charge.
All right. You charge. What we're going to do,
Does it definitely not look like a cat?
it definitely does not look like a cat
Good,
in any
you
way,
kill it.
shape, or
I
form.
charge some more. Well, exactly right. I'm just making sure.
Let us roll initiative for this portion of Les Sueurs. Roll and hold. We'll get the numbers.
Initiative.
Yes, initiative.
14.
So we're going to start from the top number. Anyone get above a 20?
It'd be.
What do we get, Captain Flint?
That'd be a 23 with a nat 20 on the die.
On a nat 20.
Of course, I'd waste something like that on initiative. That's me. That's me. Like all over.
Anyone 15 to 20?
Well, we are not
No,
using.
you choose different numbers. I know counting's hard.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
10.
14.
12. We got a 14, 12, 10. Jean?
I hold a 4.
Yeah, that sounds like Jean.
So you're not lighting the torch really quickly.
No, I am not. Sorry, I forgot to add my modifier. It would be an 8. which is functionally the same.
It's better. It's better.
It's better than 4, but still less than everyone else.
I feel better about myself, but not better about the situation.
With that, Captain Flint, you are highest on initiative. You hear the sound of this metallic bull, and then you hear Duskor giving the chant to ambush, the sound of an ambush coming from somewhere. You can't see, but you know roughly where things are happening.
Right. You know, I'm reckoning things. You know, having to have a description of it and now being able to hear it. Does that perhaps trigger any thoughts of old songs I might have heard? Monster manuals I may have read.
Based on the details you've heard, you know that it's a bull, you know that it's metal, and you can hear that sound. You've heard of something that moves as iron and charges like a mountain. Its force destructive, but its appearance so constructive. A viable creature, something much like a Gorgon.
Oh, I hate
A
this.
Gorgon. Oh, and then I think I know the word. I'll immediately use my turn to cast protection from poison upon myself. And I would have done it with the others, but they went on ahead. They rushed into things. Not like I asked to be left behind.
With that, you have protection from poison placed upon yourself.
Casting that from the first. Yeah.
All right. That is your action. You have a bonus action if there's something you'd like to do.
I can't see any of them at all.
Unfortunately, you cannot. It is dark in these tunnels, and no one chose to have a torch.
Well, would a bonus action be enough for me to light a candle? I do have candles on me, and I do have lamps.
You can do a free action. Use object to light a candle.
Very well, so I will.
All right. You light a candle. Candles aren't as bright as torches, but it will give you the 10 feet of bright light around you and 20 feet of dim light, just enough to quite literally see the head of the bull and its green vapors coming from the nostrils and its form with its head turned to the side to where your party seems to have gone.
I'll yell out a warning to them since I believe that'll be a free action.
Yes, it will.
Oh, it's incredible! Oh, there's a bull monster coming at you, is what I'm trying to say.
With that, it does go to Hoshech.
You'll get it. I promise you. You will know soon.
We're getting there.
And I will. You lit a candle, so now there's a soft glow around it.
Only vaguely you see the softest bit of dim light, just enough to see its head. So you do have line of sight on its head.
Great. That's all I need. I shoot.
Okay.
Oh, 27.
A 27 will hit. Oh.
That will be. Do I do this? It is a 10 points of piercing damage as I draw my second arrow.
One, as this one is able to cling the side of its head in a clean spot, just shy of the eye.
Not as good. With a 14.
14 is gonna miss. As the arrow slings through, you're able to get the weak spot between the plates the first shot. The second one hits just iron and clings.
To be sure, though, I will use a bonus action.
Bonus action?
Since I see his head now.
You do?
I want to, in his head, say in common, if you are a person in there, sit down and tap your hoof 3 times.
You feel like the message has gone through. You'll have to wait till its turn to see what it does.
Okay.
That brings us over to the noble of not noble. Duskor.
You're okay.
No.
Yeah, die, you valuable roaming thing.
You come around. Yeah.
I'm trying to hit it once with a long sword, and that's a 9, so I'm warming up.
As you just kind of cling
As one
against one of
does.
its horns.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 16?
16 is gonna miss. As you just 1 and 2, and it just ding, ding.
It's made out of metal.
When she hears that, she gets very upset.
Is there anything else you do?
Whine a bit more, and that's it.
Okay. It is the Gorgon's turn. As it's been struck, and it does go 1, 2, but then you all hear audibly, oh, as it will then try to gore at Tuskor.
Yeah, bring it. Bring it. I know some out of metal.
It's a person in there. It's another one of these.
So what? I can't hit it.
doing that.
That is a dirty 20 to hit Tuskor.
And off you go. Olay.
Is that a miss?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
As it tries to go, and it kind of goes forward, and it does use its movement to kind of like try to charge at you. It will miss a bit and hit the wall as it gets stuck into it, and it goes, oh, oh. It does go over to Jean's turn.
So, I shall. Did you say there was a stone nearby that was giving off light?
Inside the tunnel, there is light coming from inside of it, inside the little grate beneath you all. So it's giving you like a dim light in that space. You're at the edge of the light that it gives.
In that case, I will turn around at the cry and then run towards the Gorgon.
Okay. You have, I believe, at least 30 feet of movement.
I have 30 feet of movement.
You can get to Flint or go right past Flint. If you
I will go past Flint since I know he likes to have a soft body between him and the enemy.
Indeed I do. I know it too well.
You can get in melee range if you like, or I can give you the 5-foot space. You have just enough movement.
No, I will stand in the way. I will make both of my attacks.
Okay.
I think. Oh. Do I do that? Actually, I'm going to make my first attack a fainting attack. So I'll use a bonus action again. You spend 1 superiority die, use bonus action during a turn. But the total to the damage roll to get an advantage on your next attack roll against the chosen creature. So, fainting attack is a 17.
17 will miss.
What?
In that
Made of
case,
metal.
advantage on the next one. 27.
That'll hit.
Cool. Do I get it? No, don't get a natural 20. That is 6. Superiority die 7. That is 12 points of piercing damage.
You said 6, 7, and in total of 12?
Total of 12, yeah.
Okay. As you're able to, the first one not so much, but then you see that same opening that Halshak kind of made, and you kind of get a solid strike on that same spot, as you can kind of see a bit of like this green vapor being released with a bit of ooze coming out of it, as echoes down this chamber pass. That does bring us, unless bonus action?
Fainting attack, use the
fainting attack uses that. That then moves us over to the top. Captain Flint.
Right. Good. Now, this thing can see me at this point, yes?
You do believe that it has eyes on it. It has had eyes on everyone.
Right. I'm going to say, given the way that it's whimpering and moaning and whatnot, I'm going to operate on the assumption that this does have an innocent townsperson, fishmonger, or what have you trapped within it. So I'll say, we're here to help, friend, and try a persuasion attempt.
Okay. You can do so at advantage because Halshak had given it some, even though you attacked, made it feel like you might be helping. So you can do this with advantage.
Very well. All right, so best result will be a 23.
When it's 23, you kind of do that speaking. You hit me.
Well, we weren't sure if you were friendly or not, but now we can clearly see that you're the victim here.
Yeah. And then you poked me.
Yes.
Twice.
Yes, it's true, but that nice iron hide of yours protected you well, didn't it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As it nods its head and the green vapors comes up. Mm-hmm. Filling the immediate space.
Maybe if you could not breathe so much of that green stuff out, it might prove hazardous to all of our health. Why don't you let us pass, or even better, show us where the people who did this to you might be hiding?
And look, you see it at that turn. I don't know. As it incidentally releases its green vapor. Oh. I do need for Jean and Captain Flynn to give me a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Very well.
Is that a 1?
I hold a natural 1.
A natural 1. You love to see it.
All right. And I will be rolling at advantage due to my protection from poison.
Yes.
Well, I'll take that first one. What's the DC on that?
DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Then I have made it.
Okay. As it kind of goes through, Jean, you did the stab, hear the conversation, and start to pull your blade back, and then you feel yourself slowly stopping. You are currently restrained as you start to note a bit of stone forming on your body, starting from the bottom of your feet.
Boss, I feel this is not good.
How do we stop this? How do we stop this? Do I cut him off at the ankles? What do I do? What do I do?
Don't take my feet.
Do we pour tea on
You
it?
must do what you must do and cut his feet off.
I am going to give it to Hosha or Anne. Would be next if there's something you want to do as we maintain a bit of this initiative.
I don't think I can get to cut his feet off in time, but I would say cut his feet off.
Okay. Wishes.
It's the only way to stop this.
They all
from
like-
happening.
It does go over to Tuskor.
Who's carrying me around for the rest of the adventure?
Well,
Probably you were the worst person to say this to, even in jest.
I try and cut his feet off.
Oh my god!
Well, that's what I was told to do by the brain.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but this is who Hosha is.
Give me your attack roll.
I wish I had just married the poor girl.
Can I assist?
In the cutting off Jean's legs?
Mm-hmm.
And how
I'm
are you
alone
wanting
amongst
to-
friends.
How do you want to do so?
I want to help chew one of them off.
From the stone or from the flesh?
You have lots of hit points, I'm sure.
I have 46.
Are we going stone or flesh? What do I see you doing?
Go, flesh.
Flesh.
Flesh. You got to cut it off before
Obviously,
it
I
gets
would
there.
like
right?
Yes,
through
you
the
must
flesh.
remove enough.
And what is it that Tuskor got?
Do I get both my attacks?
Just the one for this.
Oh, thank goodness. That's only an 11.
An 11. Go ahead and give me
I would like to
a
make a
D20.
maneuver.
The D20. I don't
Just-
do my primal stuff.
Are you going full primal savagery to tear off?
Well, it gives
John-
me a good bonus. I don't have to do damage other than the removal of the leg.
Other than that, I'm fine.
Flint just sort of leans against the wall and goes, "Oh, not again."
19?
I would like to use my reaction to use the defensive duelist, adding the 3.
Which will
Oh,
make
actually, no, it doesn't matter. He meets it, beats it.
Night. It's well.
We'll get you new legs.
Your AC, because near the stone, is 17, so you would add 3 to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, could
So it
make
becomes a 20.
Yeah.
So because of the 20, you start going. The stone comes up just as you're trying to do the bite.
But boss, the stone is making me harder to hit.
We'll get you new knees.
But
As you do that, the Gorian goes, "I'm sorry." He kind of, you can hear the sniffle, like the crying has caused this to come out. Other ones can help.
Other ones?
Yeah, Big Bro's around the corner.
All right, well, don't worry, friend. No harm done to me. So, why don't you just wait here, and why don't you point that leaky hooter of yours the other way? Hmm?
Okay.
I'm turning to stone. If we can hurry this up, I would be very appreciative.
John, I'll let you get another DC 13 Constitution saving throw against the second half of it.
Oh no, that is 13.
13.
That is a 13.
As it starts to go up, as Winifred is gnawing at it, it starts to slowly cease and regress. And you can actually see what it looks like. Winifred is kind of actually biting at the stone and helping break away some of the pieces.
No, I'm definitely trying to bite your.
Winifred, you can stop, and I start hitting her with the flat
like
blade.
the stone has gone all the way away, but Winifred isn't done nibbling.
Winifred, please stop.
Oh, fine.
No, what was it you said? Big Bro is around the corner.
Yes, good if you find your brother.
A bigger one.
Yes,
No,
tell him we're fine. Do not kill us. We are going to help you. Reverse whatever this is, and maybe could you open the grate?
Well, he
Let's
doesn't
just have
have
them do
thumbs
it.
now, does he?
What's this?
This poor fella doesn't have thumbs no more. I think he's some
He
kind
can
You
of...
see,
use
it's kind of leans up.
his horns. To put the horns in the grate, and then, whew,
That is very
open.
Might work. Tell me, what form is your Big Bro taking currently?
Big bro, he watches us.
Big brother is watching. Yeah, that checks out. But what is he? What does he look like?
He looks like he's watching us.
Oh, no.
Oh, something with a lot of eyes then, or one big eye, or maybe both?
Both.
How many eyes does your brother have?
1, 2, 4. I only
Are you an orc under there?
You're very small.
Suspecting your former profession wasn't mathematician.
No. I chopped wood.
I have an inkling what
That
we might
takes
be-
math. Chopping wood is a very difficult job that requires mathematical
Well, that's why you
skill.
can count.
I made a joke that maybe he was actually related to you because you cannot count.
1 to 2, 2 to 4. 1 to 2, 2 to 4.
Right? Counting.
You cut the wood, you cut them both, you get 1 to 2 and 2 to 4.
So this thing has 3 eyes then.
I'm suspecting it may have one. Does it have one big eye sort of in the middle?
It's Big Bro's big eye.
God.
And was he always what he is now, or was he a person before it?
Big Bro make good statues. I make statues too.
Yeah. I think it's what I'm fearing it is.
It does also raise a very important point.
Oh, well, I am glad I did not. I appreciate the arts. I do not wish to be one of them.
But in the off chance that you do turn into a statue, how much do you think your parents would like a new garden ornament?
I think they would pay you more if I came back alive.
Yes, but let's just say that we just had a very nice statue of you instead.
It would depend on the quality. Oh, you mean if I turn to stone? Oh, I do not know.
I mean, just
Bunch of
hypothetically.
quick ones we have here in this group.
You guys are weird.
Remember what we said about not screwing around quite as much as we normally do?
Yes.
Did
let's
somebody
focus.
say that before we entered
I
this
did not
sewer?
agree
Do
to
not
that.
screw around as much? Okay. I said, let's go find the big brother, but you tell him we are not to be turned to stone,
You think you can manage that?
and we are going to
I can't
help you
talk to him.
both.
I can't make it to him.
Where is he?
As turns towards the direction you came from. He's down that way. I can't fit.
I see.
Like, oh,
And what lays this way? And I point down
Further the other way.
south, I guess.
That's where the nice lady goes, but then she disappears.
Nice lady goes and then she disappears.
She takes all the people like us, people like you.
Ah, well then it might be the culprit that we're after. I'd rather deal with a nice lady than a thing with a big eye in the middle and lots of little eyes around the
She
side.
goes right in that wall as turns around and technically just in case gonna see if any of you accidentally get hit by large knife. No. Just kind of like turns without hesitation, considering space, and kind of seemingly points down where Polshek is, and kind of like right there, lady goes and goes.
Boom.
Boom.
She says boom.
No, she goes over there and then boom.
Maybe he's a ghost.
No, go say,
Oh, is that how she goes through the wall? Ghost?
okay.
Either that or I feel along the wall.
Where you're at? Solid wall.
What about where he's pointing, where he said the lady went?
So you go over there, you go and you feel the wall. Go ahead and give me investigation.
Well, now I know why you asked me which wall I was touching. Interesting.
That is a 15 total.
With a 15, you kind of like, the wall feels solid, but there's also something about it that seems to be, the walls have like this like residue from, being the sewer. However, this wall is a little bit too clean, as if it hasn't been stained by anything. It matches the same texture of everything, but seems partially, not incorporeal, but just clean, a clean material.
And yet it's solid to the touch.
Definitely solid to the touch.
Huh.
With a 15, you know that it seems to be something too clean to be where it's at, but solid enough that it's real.
Right.
Perhaps you can't see in all the low light with your eyes and everything.
All right. Do you spot anything there?
With a deeper look, I will say no check further necessary. You're all kind of like probably getting a better idea. This wall seems real, but there is a bit of, for the arcane, there is something magical about it. Something that seems a barrier of sorts. You're noticing that you're not actually touching the wall. You're feeling something else that is just so thin that it's like, oh, perhaps something is blocking the wall.
I blast it.
You Eldritch Blast. You're hitting with magic. As you do, you realize you're not hitting wall. You can see this like shimmering purple light kind of appear, and then it faints out.
Is it the same type of shimmery purple light that is on the gray?
Similar light type of glow. As this magic hits, those two lights seem similar.
All right, we just have to wait.
No.
The lady's going to come out at some point. She'll come out, smack you in the head, take you back through the door. You've got to have some like key or something, right?
Winifred, do you have anything that might get us through this?
Probably, and I skitter run into the wall.
You just run into it?
Yeah, I just run into it.
You know what? Roll me an athletics to avoid damage.
I'm proficient with
16. You run into the wall as you kind of stumble back. It's a solid wall.
Ouch. No, I cannot help.
However, can I see anything different? Because I do have dark.
You see the wall. You see that it's magical, and you can tell that it's a magic barrier keeping you from this side.
I've got crackers and fish.
Throw the fish at it.
No, it's what we're going to eat while we're waiting for the lady to come back out.
To hit her with the fish.
Well, I'll be honest, I was hoping that I might be able to reserve the strength, but I don't know if we're going to get past this any other way than dispelling the magic.
Oh,
Dispel
that would
magic.
be a really good idea. We could have started with that.
All right, we're doing Dispel Magic.
I know, but it's my highest level slot. I don't want to be going into the final battle. All right, score. So, Dispel Magic.
That's a 3rd level spell.
It is a 3rd level spell.
Okay. Let me do 3rd level Dispel Magic as you cast Dispel Magic on this wall. What does it look like as you cast it?
Well, I pull out my little squeeze box. And it's almost as if the musical notes take physical form and they begin to whittle away at the magical barrier. Have you seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? It's a bit like that.
Never heard of such a
Some of the little notes, like they sprout arms and legs and put on hard hats and begin disassembling.
Working their way through it as this barrier falls all the way through, and the clean wall, still seeming there, has a bit of a waviness to it, almost like a mirage. The lady usually uses Big Bro to do that.
With his big eye, eh?
Not the big one. His really long one.
Well, I don't know enough about the biology or whatnot, but all right, can we make our way through it?
I'm not supposed to let you through.
Oh, but we're gonna help you now, right? Remember the conversation we had earlier, where I was so persuasive and all?
Oh no! What's that? As it turns its head and stares at the wall.
Oh yeah, you didn't see nothing. You were doing your job, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. I do good my job.
Yes, you do good your job. You do.
Skeeter.
Flint just sort of, never being the first one to go through a door, just sort of gestures to one of the more powerful members of the party.
I push him.
I will absolutely get as far away from this Gorgon as I physically can.
As I'm understanding, Winifred, I know how I was going. Do you push Jean?
I push him.
Jean is willingly pushed.
So
I push real hard.
and that's none of these blocked components. Or oh no. As Jean is the first one pushed through, you see a few things occurring inside of this space. To get it all on there. Do do do. La da 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 da.
Look, if somebody else says ow and oh and can we just pretend we don't hear it? Because I'm getting tired of not being able to hit anything.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure there'll be something to hit sooner or later.
I'm more than.
I am getting to
even
the
if they
point
say
where I
ow.
feel like we need to just stop this from happening any further. and any losses that happen are for the greater good.
And I promise you, if we end tonight without having beaten something up, I'll take you out and you can mug someone later.
Well, that's very kind of you. That warms my heart.
I know, and there's going to be a profit in it as well.
Can I skip that lesson? I do not wish to be a part of that.
No, we wouldn't take you along.
Oh, speaking metaphorically, strictly metaphorical. I was being literally.
As John, you're the first one to come through. What you see before you is a series of things. On either side of you seems to be these strange arcane conduits that seem, you can see bits of what arcane energy, not quite electricity, jutting out on your either side of you. Ahead of you is this large mechanical tank holding some strange purplish green liquid and various small creatures kind of inside, some that look like larvae, some that look more like cocoon, and others that seem to be an amalgamation of creatures. You can see one that looks to be like a small kid, like a kitten, but a small cub of sorts, of a lion cub. You see it has little wings sprouting out of it and this very small goat head prying out and a snake-like appendage coming out of its other part. Along the other right side are these arcane crystals giving off a very purple pulsing glow, a tube that connects it to this strange thing swirling and sending the energy. But the most prevalent thing you see is this feminine figure who is currently performing some kind of surgery on this small yet large, like chicken-like creature whose partial body has been turned to stone. There are other things that decorate the lab amongst books and strange alchemical things. And in the back of the room, another female, seemingly a scientist of sorts, seems to be swirling this crystal ball and looking deep into it in a trance-like state as the scientist working on this small basilisk, a cockatrice in front of you, smiles. Oh, I was not expecting guests or volunteers, was I? What are you doing here?
Well, I heard there was a job going, and I decided to come down here. As I can glance behind me and try and find my...
You can, because the arcane barrier has been broken, you can hear on the other side, you just can't physically see from the side of the wall.
Yeah, I will 100% hearing him speak, go through the wall and immediately shoot the first person.
Absolutely. Can I just throw a javelin through the wall?
Do you want to go straight forward?
Well, he's in trouble.
If the first person I see is
talking to
him, it would have been him, but no, I would immediately go for the scientist.
I will allow the javelin to go through. Please. Just roll me the attack roll for that, because you're not going to hit a target, that's for sure. You are throwing straight through the wall that will hit nothing. And at the same time, you're coming in and shooting the first person you see?
I will walk through, and if I see, from my vantage point sitting here, I see the woman in the white.
Yes.
So that is what I see.
Okay.
So I walk through the wall and immediately loose 2 arrows.
Okay.
And hopefully they hit.
Give me the 2 attack rolls for that.
23.
23. With a 23, you are able to, you're not going to hit any one as a blind throw, but the 23, you're able to hit something relatively important. Is you hear the sound of like you hit through glass. Jean, you see your boss's javelin flying through and piercing that vat as this purple arcane energy kind of comes out and matches the same similar fluid that looks like what's running through the sewer. Hosha.
17.
17.
And the 14.
14. As it's coming through, you can see as the crystal ball, she stops moving it, and your arrow hits this blue arcane barrier. A shield has prevented it from being hit. As to do, we're going to jump into the initiative cycle.
How dare she do that to me? She's dead now.
Same initiative as before?
Yep, maintaining the same
Maintaining the same
initiative to roll.
All right, would I get to go first then?
Yes, you will be the first to go.
So I'm actually
I will have
fast.
you be allowed to be in front of the wall over here, and same thing with Winnie.
I'm going to say that it's stuck.
Staring at the wall.
I have
Captain
rolled
Flint.
a 1.
A 1 for...
Which is good.
But it's good because I am a halfling, so I get to reroll it.
This is for...
Initiative.
We're keeping the initiative.
Oh, what is this one?
We're just jumping straight over the Flynn. I'm saying we're...
Oh, I thought you said to roll the initiative. And I will not have rolled the 1 then?
No, you did not roll a 1. Even better.
Flint decides he's going to hold his action. He actually sort of wanders a little way away from the opening so that if anything shoots out, it won't hit him.
Yes.
And he says to the
Cover.
Gorgon, the other way, back to the Gorgon, he's just like, I'm sure it'll be fine. Don't worry. We'll let them sort things out, and then we'll see what the lay of the land is, shall we?
Delightful. Sitting in cover, then it does go over to Pasha.
Oh, well then, I will then shoot her 2 more times.
The same, the one with the crystal ball? Seeing if you adjust your position or if you're just like, same target.
Yeah.
Same target.
She
Okay.
can try to do this again if she wants.
Go ahead and give me your 2 attack rolls.
What is wrong with me? 18
18 hits.
and 16.
16 hits. Just gonna do that once.
9 and 6, 15 points total.
15 points total. 2 shots. She drops the crystal ball.
Hey, you! You do not do this to innocent people. You do this to evil people. And you tell me how to do it. I like you. Don't make me kill you.
As the other scientist, like working, that was in front of this like body of a cockatrice, sees the arrows fly through and is like, I see. Is there anything else you want to do for your turn? You have a bonus action.
I will, I don't have the ability to just go and hide in with my bonus action. I'm just very, very stealthy. I will go around the back of one of these very important looking machines and hide behind it.
All right, taking cover behind that.
Yes.
Okay. As you do that, she decides, she kind of takes a few steps over to here. I decide. I did consider the options of testing this. And she takes this large lever and cranks it open. As you see behind her, this large well-like grate just dink, and you hear the metal clank open. And beneath, Sven, my boy, come and play.
Oh.
Oh, good. Sven's back.
Tuskor.
Oh. Watch and learn, boy. I charge running in. Not really entirely sure who the enemy is, but if anybody doesn't look like any of my normal party, that's the one that I'm running towards.
There is one person behind the table and a cockatrice that seems partially petrified and realizing as you get closer, still alive.
Oh, no, that's fine. I will leap off the table and attack the person on the other side.
All right.
If possible.
What's your movement speed?
Movement speed is the 30.
30 will
Let's go with
get
30.
you just to the table.
Not
But
close
you-
enough?
Not close enough. She is 10 feet away.
That's all right. She gets double javelins.
Double javelins. All right, go ahead and give me the attack roll for the double javelins.
Javelins seem to be my thing. 21 dirty.
That'll hit.
And a 15.
And a 15. A 15 will miss.
All right. 6 points of piercing damage.
6 piercing. As you're able to, one misses, goes a little wide and ends up hitting inside of the cage. You hear the sound of something. Whoosh. You stab something in there that you can't see, realizing that it's somehow dark in there, but you got it. The other one hitting the scientist in the shoulder, and you see as it kind of pierces through this like thin blue veil, you'll pierce through the armor class of her mage armor.
Tricks.
Is there anything else for you?
No.
Okay. At this point, you start seeing a purple glow continuing to come up from that well behind her. And eventually you see a purple hand, this like almost ooze, but also like almost like the night sky and a solid dusk starting to come up. As you can see this creature with multiple exposed organs that have been placed inside their body, standing at the top of the well and almost hovering in the opening.
Oh, that's nasty.
It
Is it Sylvester or Steven?
Sven.
Well,
Sven?
Sven?
You know Sven enough that this has a physical form like Sven, except for the fact you can see like Sven's bones and like organs through this strange translucent skin.
Must be cold in the dungeon.
They are going to use their movement and they can approach. The table's knocked over and that works all the same. It is going to slam against Tuskor. with a 18 to hit.
I think not.
And then it will use its second. As it kind of pursuing one arm and misses, that one is going to be a 21 to hit.
All right, this one's on me. I didn't duck properly.
As one kind of goes over, takes the other, and smacks, you are going to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage and 9 points of psychic damage. A total of 23 damage. And I need for you to give me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
So that would be less.
With that, at the strike hits, that sound, there's like a resonant sound of, Tusko, I'm sorry about this. Striking your mind, and you are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Uh-oh.
However, that is the end of Sven's turn. Winnie.
I look over at the invisible man thing, and I'm like, hey, look, it's Sven, and I accidentally cast Witch.
Been there before.
23.
Oops.
23 will hit Sven.
15 damage.
15 lightning.
Of the lightning persuasion.
Okay. As the lightning coils and starts to bind around the form, you can see their form starting to stretch, almost as if they're trying to slowly absorb the energy, but unable to do so right now. That's your action. You still have a bonus action if there's something you'd like to do.
Tentacles of the deep.
What is that gonna do?
I don't know. Tentacles pop up.
Where do they pop up? I believe you can put them up at a certain range. I want to say it's 30, but I could be wrong.
Not never 31. Always
Never 31.
Yep. 10. Oh. No, it looks like 10.
10. Okay. So you'll kind of pop in. Witch Bolt has a range of 30.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could pop it within 10 feet.
Within 60.
Within 60 feet.
Yeah.
So you
10 foot long tentacle within 60. At a point
Yes.
you can see within 60.
Is there anywhere specific you'd like it to appear?
The most inconvenient.
I would say probably within the space between them.
Oh, hi. What?
Okay. I believe that will be it for Winnie. As we bring it over to Jean.
How far away am I from Sven?
Sven, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
Excellent. I will move up to 30 feet and make a lunging attack.
Okay. You can get right up in his business, right next to boss.
Cool. The lunging attack increases my range, my reach by 5 feet, so I can make a 10-foot attack.
Perfect.
Miss anyway, it does not matter.
As you run up next to boss, ready to go, you're like, I got this, and you still overextend and just kind of stab right under the armpit as Sven's body just kind of coiled in the Witch Bolt lightning turns their eyes towards you.
Second attack, also a lunging attack. Hey. Also not great. 16.
16 hits.
Oh, get in. So, that is 3, 11, 16 points of piercing damage.
16 piercing on Sven.
That's my lad.
The needle sticker works sometimes, sir.
Okay. You do. And that's your action. And did the lunging take a bonus?
No, it's just a thing that happens, but I'm not going to use bonus action.
All right, no bonus action there. We come back to the top. Captain Flynn.
Right, so I'm hugging the wall just outside of the portal. Now,
And you can hear all of that now.
I turn to the Gorgon and say, now, see, that's how you can tell that I've given them enough time to draw fire. Now, now is where I do my part. And I cast invisibility with the item. I'll be back.
What?
And I'm going to sneak in and get a gander, first of all, at the lay of the land.
All right. You can get inside and you can see that Hoshak hiding behind one of the vat that is currently leaking some form of arcane fluid. You have Winnie in front of you holding on to this arc of lightning as you see this random alchemical fuel everywhere as Tuskor and Jean are both going against what you can only notice to be an overgrown, bulked out Sven in a strange form. And on the other side of a large tentacle that has come out of nowhere, a scientist who seems to have a bit of arcane energy protecting her, and a body of someone in the back of the corner.
Right. Now I'm going to use the rest of me move down here. I'd like to hide behind something that's not leaking potentially flammable arcane fluid.
10, 15 you can get.
But then my object is that the lady in the white there, that seems to be the one in charge.
Yeah. So you can make your way with 10 feet to get in, 15, 20, 25. You can get around here.
I can get to there. Now, what do we have there? That chest sort of looking thing.
Right in front of you at that chest, you see what seems to be a series of random body parts and alchemical fluids. Some of them you see that seems to be like a fluid sac that seems to be leaking something that is currently petrifying something. Seems to be a basilisk petrifying sac. You see that there seems to be other glands that seem to have giving off steam, perhaps a fire-breathing gland of some sorts. You start to realize this chest is just parts pulled from monstrous.
I don't like the looks of any of that stuff. I'm not getting near it. So I'm going to actually hug that sort of central tube there. I want to be able to have cover for it when I become visible again after what I'm about to do.
Coming back a bit?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now, I've taken in this entire lab setup, and she's wearing some kind of lab coat.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's probably stained from her work.
You can see various random...
I'm already seeing this lady's backstory in my head. So, I'm going to hide behind there, using that for cover for when I become visible. And I'm going to cast dissonant whispers on her.
Okay.
And the whispers are going to say, they laughed at you at the academy. They laughed at you at the university. Ah, and they were right. They were right. And then laughter is going to ring out in her ears, and she's going to take all kinds of psychic damage, hopefully.
That's a wisdom save, I believe.
That is a DC 15 wisdom save.
That is a 14.
Then she'd be taking all of this damage. And I'm going to upcast it, of course. That would be 16 points of psychic damage.
16 points of psychic
growth thing.
She can't do anything about that damage coming through. As you kind of start to whisper, and there's this moment the scientist starts doing, no, I understood. And you can start to see as the wincing and kind of clenching at her ears and trying to cover sounds that are not being made.
And of course, she must now use her reaction immediately to move as far as her speed will allow away from me.
Okay, she will move into the corner between the cage and the pylon that seems to be, as you kind of follow her eyes, there is a displacer kitty just hanging on top of one of the pylons. And that's as far as she can go because she hits the wall. And that will, I believe, it for Captain Flynn.
That is me.
Hosha.
She seems like...
Oh, wait, hold on now. What am I thinking with me? I got a bonus action available, no?
Yes. Because you did use object to go invisible.
All right, so I think a little bit of bardic inspiration for probably who's directly in combat with our big purple fellow.
Both Jean and technically Tuskor.
Right. Jean seems in the most jeopardy, though. He's the closest.
Jean seems like has chosen to step in front.
Right. I'd say, Jean, you can do it. You can do it. I don't believe what anyone says.
It's so nice to hear a compliment for once.
As a voice echoes behind somewhere. Someone believes in you.
That'll be a D8 for you, bardic inspiration. Right. And moreover, if you attempt something with that bardic inspiration and you fail, you get to keep the die until you succeed.
Oh, wonderful.
That is when someone truly believes in you.
I have chosen the wrong master. I should have become a bard.
You hear this? Right next to you.
His silence is... Oh, it is so beautiful.
As we move over to, continuing.
So, evaluating these two women, the one that just moved over where by the cage, the blonde, is the
The
leader?
Seemingly the actual scientist.
Okay. Well then, I will Zephyr Strike myself.
Oh, okay. Speed boost.
And I am going to run past past that tentacly thing. I want to be out of its reach though, but I want to have enough. I want to be out of everything's reach. So maybe I run across the other side of the room.
Want to come around across here.
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, because your movement speed's now like 40.
It's now my movement speed is 55.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can run anywhere in this room that you want.
And I don't provoke any opportunity attacks.
So you can stop right there.
And I will shoot her. It is also going to give me bonuses to my attacks. And so I want to make sure I am not going to do this the wrong way, but I will shoot. And here I go. I can give myself advantage on one of my rolls. I will do it on the first.
Okay.
I did not need to do that, but it's fine. 26 to hit.
26 will hit.
And now that will do 10 points of piercing damage plus an additional 6 force damage as the arrow slams into her.
Okay.
And second attack.
Give me the second attack.
That will be a 23.
That'll hit.
It only works on one. Not as good. 5 more piercing.
Damage is damage.
And you see as if she doesn't look hurt.
She looks just injured. Less than 70% health.
This angers Kosheth in a way that those who have traveled with her before have seen sometimes happen as she closes her eyes, and not now, but by the beginning of her next turn, you can see her skin start to change. Oh, I will kill her if it's the last thing I do! She's done.
Okay.
What's your skin changing to?
It starts to, because her skin is kind of grayish anyway. She's all very shadowy. But she is covered in tattoos, and you can see as her skin starts to just kind of turn into a lighter gray, and the tattoos start to be more prominent.
Okay. As that happens, her turn is right after you, and she is going to return the favor.
Yeah, go ahead. Make me angrier. I dare you.
She
lady.
Flicks her hands, and you see 2 scalpels as she goes 1 and 2. She will throw both of them.
I literally thought you were going to be
She throws 1 scalpel. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
Fine.
Okay. That is going to be 5 piercing and 10 psychic for a total of 15 as the scalpel hits, and the screams of every victim or volunteer of her experiments echoes in your head. And the second one, 15 on that, 21 to hit for another 15 total damage, as each one pierces and echoes her finest work.
Yes, make me angrier. I like how that feels.
Roll or something, just because. You can see, as you do that, there is a equally sadistic smile. She goes, "Oh, you'll be fun to work on." As also, she is still dealing with the whispers of someone who told her the truth.
How did I know they laughed at her at the academy?
The score.
Oh, I'm stunned. I'm just stunned. That's all I can say.
Quite literally.
Just stunned. I get 1 action, right?
You get no action.
No action. Well, then that's it.
I'm speaking the free action just in case.
Yeah, I'm stunned.
Okay.
You hit.
You are freed from your stun. As Sven...
Oh, no.
Sven looks over at Jean. Jean, you will be the target of 2 attacks.
Is he stepping into within 5 feet or not?
Has a
No.
reach of 10 feet.
Cool. Just check.
That is I don't think a 15 hits.
No.
Yep. The first one misses.
Oh, as a reaction, I will riposte and attack him.
Oh, okay.
It's rolling badly. 16.
16 hits.
Cool. That is 13 points apiece. Down.
13 points. Not injured yet. And the second attack was a 17 to hit.
I will use Defensive Duelist.
Defensive Duelist.
So my AC becomes 19.
That also a reaction.
Yes. Yes. No, it is. It is. That is very silly of me. The attack hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 14 bludgeoning, 9 psychic for a total of 23. And I need you to give me a DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that was exactly half of my hit points. Oh, this dice has been rolling better for me this week. Constitution, did you say?
Yep. Constitution 17.
10.
That is a fail, as you
You do have Bardic Inspiration.
I do have Bardic Inspiration. 18.
18. That passes.
Swing well done.
I am to become a bard and a pirate.
Don't ever say I didn't do nothing for you.
Can I backhand him as a free action?
Totally,
yes.
Yes.
Pah! Just as you avoid, get hit. You're like, I dodged this. This one hurt. You're like, oh, it hit me 3 times. It's Tuskgore's hands flying in the air. God. Okay, that then will take us over to Winnie.
Can I ascertain whether lightning damage actually did anything?
It did.
It did.
Yes.
Okay, so
Then I use Witch Bolt again, but it's automatic.
Automatic damage, yes.
That is 21 points of lightning.
Witch Bolt. Ooh. I'm
And
getting
then
angry.
I use my, is he within 10 feet of my tentacle?
Yes.
I hit him with a 14.
14 would miss. Okay. Witch Bolt doing a lot of damage as the form kind of like, you see like part of the ooze-like shell of the carapace kind of weakens and kind of like starts to leak. They are injured.
Uh-huh.
As we go over to Jean.
Jean, with no more superiority die and realizing he's already in range anyway, I will step forward 5 feet and make very likely 3 attacks.
All right, and you get into full range on them.
They're rolling better. 24 and a 21.
Both hit.
Cool. 6, 11, 11. Forgotten how to do maths. That's 21 points of piercing damage.
21 piercing.
And then bonus attack, I will make an offhand attack with my dagger.
Okay.
Which is a 19.
19 will hit.
For 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. More of Sven's form starts to like burst, pop, as some of that like arcane fluid starts to leak out. Sven is looking pretty bad. I'm currently considered bloody, less than 30% health.
I am sorry that we have to do this to you, Sven, but you are a true monstrosity.
It is okay. You are cool.
And you want to be a bard.
As we come up to the top, Captain Flint, you do see that right now Sven's form is weakening and is currently possibly in their last few moments. And there is also the scientist who is injured and also in a bit of a sadistic state.
Ooh, right. Well, so the dissonant whispers were laughter ringing in her ears, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you know, my dear, sometimes when people laugh at you and mock you, the best thing to do is laugh along. Tasha's hideous laughter.
That's a wisdom save?
That is a wisdom save.
Well, they don't have much against that. Okay. +1. What's the DC?
15.
That is a 10 on the dice, so that's 11. So Tasha's hideous laughter. As this moment, she is getting this sadistic state towards Tasha, who has like struck her, and she's and goes into a cackling laughter. She is caught in Tasha's hideous laughter. Is there anything else?
Very good. So she's prone now then?
Yes.
Yeah? So prone and incapacitated.
Currently laughing fit on the ground.
Right. Well, I think my orcish friend could use a bit of a boost and say, now don't worry, sir. You may have lost an apprentice, but you've gained a fan for life, if I may. Your form is amazing. Seeing you in battle, it's like watching Grumsh himself tear his opponents apart on the battlefield.
It is.
You may take a D8 in inspiration.
All right. Tasha.
Hoshek's skin turns to a ghostly white as you see the large dragon tattoo that wraps around this like sleeve of her arm starts to move, and as it uncoils, the inks move along her arm and start to climb out of her fingertips and form into a smoky drake that takes form in front of her. And it makes a beeline for the scientist on the floor and goes to bite.
All right. Advantage because she is prone.
16.
16 hits.
She takes 7 points of piercing damage, and the drake will stand there next to her. And as you said, as a bonus action, I can drink.
Yes, bonus action. You can take a healing potion and roll.
And I will be drinking my healing potion.
Now, I should let you know, she did take damage, so she will get another wisdom save.
Okay. With +1, she rolled the 13 on the dice. That's 14. I think.
Still laughing. She still finds this hilarious.
Gets bit by a drake, and it is perhaps the most comical thing and almost ironic in this moment, as she is fascinated at this creature that she can't work on. Anything else?
I will say in her head, I will wear our pretty blonde hair as a trophy.
She thinks that's hilarious.
She's still laughing.
She's still laughing.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
It is her turn. Does she make the check at the beginning or end of her turn?
I believe it'll be at the end of her turn, but let me double check that.
I believe it's at the end.
Yeah, at the end of her turn.
Okay.
So she'll probably lose this.
You know what? I misspoke. I don't want the drake to be right near her. I want the drake to be near Sven.
Sven?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to kind of like hit her and then?
Yeah, and then fly back.
Yeah.
It has a vast movement, and it's just kind of flying low.
Okay. That is an 11 on the dice, so that's a 12.
Still funny, I tell you. It's the joke that keeps on giving, you know.
Suskor.
Oh, I'm done now. I will attack Sven with the long sword because this is it. Do as I say, not as I do.
But
So
remember,
this would be called a miss.
but remember, you have your bardic inspiration.
You do?
This is what I would call a catastrophic. Don't do that. Do this.
Please, not sure what.
19.
19 will hit Sven.
All right.
Be real bad if you missed after that. It would have been
As a reaction, when my drake sees this hit occur,
it can take
it bites Sven
Okay.
for 6 points of lightning damage.
6 point on Sven. Score damage.
10.
Slashing. The 10 slashing. Tuskor, how do you unravel Sven's fate?
Oh, he gets cut from growing up.
Just
Yeah. Can't do that with a rapier, can you? No.
as it is the clean cleave in the body.
No, just right through the pelvis, up through the rib cage, out through, over the scapula. Yeah.
Emphasizing, because the skin is translucent, you see the clean cut of groin through bone up through as Sven's form basically in like glass starts to crack and
Well, it's just like Ballistic W on Deadliest Warrior. You remember that one? Yes.
yes.
Can I then move and an action surge? Because this laughing woman is just, she's
Move and then action surge.
But I am going to look over at our Lady of Darkness to get the nod of approval that I can attack.
you get the
Never
nod.
steal a kill.
You get the nod of approval as
Oh, critical.
critical.
And your critical
Crit rules are max amount of damage possible, and then roll the dice on top of it.
That is also how I do it.
All right, so that's
Make crits count.
12 plus 5 would be 17. But because I have 7 attack,
You get to roll another.
that goes up to a 19.
19. And that's 19 with the max assumed.
That's right.
19 puts it up to
And then I get 2 again.
it again.
So actions. And that would be a 23
That'll hit.
for another 6 points of slashing.
Tuskor, how do you unravel her fate?
That, my lad, is how you do it. Notice the blade is right in there. There's no wiggle room whatsoever.
You know, for the last however many months, I've thought you are a babbling fool. You talk absolute nonsense, but truly you are a master.
No, I should mention I'm maintaining concentration, so she's laughing right up to the very last bit. I'm going to try for one more chuckle.
Yes. The death chuckle, if you will. As you have bested the scientist whose name you did not get, for no conversations were met, Sven has been slain, the poor lad who wished to only be a soldier.
Well, I mean, it's not right that we don't know her name, so I'll loot the body and look for some wallet or an ID.
You are able to kind of go, there's nothing immediately on her, however, the desk, like right next to her that she kind of fell towards, had notes and letters. You see the notes from Sinclair Kirkman. You start to see things of letters from Sven. I want to be a soldier, Mom. I want to join. I want to be of service. But they keep telling me I'm too weak. I'm not strong enough. Another letter about how I found a way to do this. I found the Hydra you've been talking about for your research. I'm going to go find it and try to bring it back for you.
Well, Sven was her son, I think. I'm glad we killed him.
Me too. And I'll go up to her and just like cut a little bit of her hair off and start making it into like a braid to wear.
As you have
That's kind of serial killery.
Only a little bit.
It's all
I
right.
only kill for the greater good. And
We're all friends.
look
here.
at what this woman was doing to people, even her own son.
Oh, yeah, no judgment here. No judgment here.
This is a warning. Do not create monstrosities.
Well
Who's
said.
going to know that when they see it, though?
They'll know. They'll know!
The Hoffman terrifies me.
Well, might as well see if we can get any gold out of this thing. How much do you think we could sell that thing for?
Hang on, before you start getting very excited, didn't she have some eyeball-y thing? You seemed particularly perturbed by it when they described it.
Oh, well, I think that we managed to achieve our objective. I think we can sneak out the way we came without worrying about
No,
disturbing
we need
anything
to
else.
rescue the poor people in the sewer
Uh,
and maybe reverse whatever those machines in here are their schematics and plans.
oh, I suppose.
Well, don't
I
we
like
have
to
to
kill-
smash like the central control roddy thing? Everyone knows that wasn't does all the magic.
After about a minute of you kind of searching, talking, speaking,
Smashing things.
and smashing things, there is a small, like, magic surge that comes from Sinclair's body as suddenly you start to hear the sound of water filling up. Slowly, water starts to come from the same drain Sven's form came out.
Oh, forget it. Let's get out of here.
Oh, I'll just take her wallet, take her money purse.
As you start to get ready to leave, you're, wait, Elisa, I am in the cage.
Oh, who's saying that?
As you look in the cage, there is a magical darkness that seems to be inside the cage. As this voice is, Please. She's dead, so I can speak. Help, please. Please, someone.
Who are you?
Oh, there is someone. Let me out. It is confusing. There's 3 of us, but I am Uhtred, I am Sven, and I am Todd.
Another Sven. No,
And it's Todd. Can't trust it.
Todd. Let's open the. So
She got a
I'll
key
open
ring
the
on the
ca-
belt. to the-
I'll
yes.
open the cage,
Here you are.
and I will say to everybody, we need to get out of here with as many people as we can. And then if any of them are evil, I get to kill them.
Right, and if any of them are rich, they're paying a reward.
Exactly.
So can I open the cage?
Yep. You're able to open the cage. You even note as you do so, there was an arcane glyph on there that has become dormant.
Oh,
Seemingly her magic.
maybe the other grate is now open.
Oh, and I should mention, if any of them aren't rich, then we can talk installment plans for the reward.
If we find Mr. Beholder or whatever it is in there, we need to talk to him. Don't kill him. Talk to him and tell him we need you to use one of your I-beam rays to get rid of all of the magic.
Right. Well, let's get this three fellas.
I know about these things. I have studied
As
them
you
for a
open
long
the
time.
cage, the magical darkness, a figure that looks like water kind of move but boiling, as there's like iron rods in their form, and you see 3 heads just kind of pop, all like turning, looking at you and like looking at each other as they're kind of like, thank you, oh, thank you, yes, thank you, as they are like moving, as their body continues to steam and bubble. And looks in at like Sinclair on the floor and goes, and just starts kicking for a moment. Duskor?
No,
Not
I
for
want
now.
to also. I want to so badly. 3 heads to kill.
You
But-
do start to hear the sound of a few other voices kind of, help! They seem to have swam up now that the water is filled at the grate where Sven came out as well.
Is there a keyhole on that?
That one seems like the water pressure is stuck. You just may have to pull it over.
Over
I-
to you, sir.
I will allow you to just be able to wrench it open. And there's at least 3 other individuals who just seem, you've noticed maybe blue collar farmers and other individuals like that who are just been malnourished, and you see is like they have these black dots along different parts of their body, seemingly for schematics and ideas of where to make the changes, and they're exacerbated, but like seeing you, they're like, oh, can we go?
Yeah, come with us. Oh, we have to get that steel cow fella out in the hallway as well.
As you kind of
It's not going to fit through the grate.
rush your way out, you do note that immediately, as soon as you go through, on your left side, the Gorgon, on the right side, you see what appears to be the Chimera,
Oh, hello.
and just floating slightly up, an undead beholder's form.
Oh, hi. We've heard about you.
I will just speak right into the beholder's head. I'm going to try common.
You're gonna try common?
Common.
Common, okay.
Well, I speak a lot of languages, but I think common's probably the best one from what I know. What I know, she should know about beholders.
Mm-hmm.
They should speak common.
Okay, what do we say?
And so she's going to try and say, Mr. Beholder, your brother told us that you could help us. We are trying to save everybody, and can you unmagic? Can you unmatch? I don't know this word. Unmagic all of your friends.
Oh, despair.
We
is
have
usually
killed
what
the
it is.
doctor, the mad scientist.
You see like the head floating kind of like gives like a somber nod, and it gives a slow blink. Now, it appears this form was specifically made without that specific stock. I've assessed the brain of this creature and determined the potential that remains, and that one specifically has recently been removed. Apparently, most creatures do not bind with the beholder forms, as I am understanding, so she chose an undead version for this most recent version. I have been through at least 3 different beholders, and this is the one she's let me stay in the longest.
Do you know of anybody else who has this power in their monstrous forms?
I do not, but I do believe I know where there is a small nest of other creatures that have aberrational tendencies. Small little brains, other things with weird tentacles for faces.
Tentacles.
I do believe I can tell you where they are if you wish to explore that another time. However, I do believe at the rate of acceleration of the aquatic cesspool, your humanoid forms would rather depart from this, lest ye be stained with the...
What Poindexter here is trying to say is we could get 9 hills out of here.
I agree. Let's get everybody, all the monsters, to follow us. And then maybe later we gather them in a circle and do one big dispel magic.
I've got a slot left.
Okay, let's do it.
It's in that moment that you start to see more of that like arcane fluid coming down from the chamber you came from. Something that grate you had seen had been flooding and is now rushing you out the other path. So between the party, Chimera, a Gorgon, Beholder, a strange boiling creature, and a few humanoids rush down to the other side of the chamber to find what appears to be a makeshift raft on the other side of this sewer canal. It's large, but not enough to fit everyone comfortably, as a few do climb upon the Beholder to ride this raft out of a flooding sewer and find yourself slowly drifting out one of the many canals underneath, seemingly closer to the upper city.
All right.
Well, the sewer.
I hope everyone's all right. That lady, whatever she was, I would say a modern Prometheus is what she was. Modern being now, the time we're at.
As you take the time to drift, and there's this moment where these monsters aren't quite sure where to go. However, the Beholder requests to take their new family of other monster creations to just simply depart the city and try to find comfort where the city would not be so kind to a Chimera, a Gorgon, or a undead Beholder.
Well, you're not wrong about that there, friend. Can't argue.
Before you depart, ocular one,
Big blink.
Since you're all monsters,
Blink.
there is a small matter. He says, looking at Flint. You were landowners?
No, most of us were laborers, farmers, woodworkers.
Fair. But you happen to have a box or a jar.
As the boiling Sven. They're my tuition.
Yes.
Well, Mother Pate wanted me to go to be a mage. I
Yes,
don't
so.
have magical inclination. I do feel that I'm quite stronger than I was before. Perhaps, I have no need for my tuition.
You certainly don't. Higher education is for the birds, let me tell you.
Of course. I technically left it. I have my old room at the Padlock where I said I'd eventually come back. I kind of left it in a chest just at the foot of it.
Good. Well, we'll be sure to claim that for you.
Just do good with it, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Or at least chaotic neutral. I'll do chaotic neutral.
Gives like that hesitant nod, like, okay, sure. As the Beholder helps drift this plank back to one of the docks and kind of floats off with their new monstrous companions, the Chimera flying off and doing their best to carry this heavy, dense Gorgon.
Bye.
You have bested whatever strange things were occurring beneath, but the location is connected to something more. So a few lost files and research on whatever Sinclair was doing, but notes of perhaps not working exclusively alone. Collection had to come from somewhere. Who knows where these monsters came from and the pieces to make it be. But for now, you go to Sven's old room. You're able to collect their 600 gold piece tuition funds.
Not bad. It's all right. Not bad for an afternoon's work, I suppose.
No, definitely not bad.
Right, so that'll be 100 each.
No.
Right.
Yeah, you must
120 each.
That's it. You see, gotta watch him.
I will give you mine. I assume it is what you want.
No.
No.
I am the leader declared by you. And I say that Jean gets to keep his money, or you will meet the end of my bow. Arrow. One of those things.
And Jean I should let you know that there's a special discount for my barding lessons that I'll be starting just 120 gold for the first week.
I'll give you more of a discount.
What? Wouldn't you would let me sleep in the bed this time?
Well, just about.
As you start to have the discussion on Jean's future training as more fighter or maybe a little bit of barding, Captain Flint has done their best to avoid being in the mess of it, the thick of it. Boschek has claimed Boschek has claimed another trophy for their odd collection.
That is correct.
And I am quite sure that Winifred has dastardly broken more things and consumed more random bits of material than any goblin should.
Anytime we did anything, it was smash.
And now you hope that as you tell this story, people will believe of the time that you fought a Gorgon, a Chimera, a Beholder, and some other strange version of Sven, superpowered by his mother, in the sewers that have now flooded and all evidence of it is gone. But however, I tend to believe that that's not likely for them to believe it. At least you know, at least today, you have succeeded as guardians of the gate. Congratulations on completing this adventure.
Huzzah!
We did it.
Huzzah!
Well, I gotta say, what an epic journey to go through in just pure chaos, yet controlled in some way to survive and make half of the BBEG team just laugh until they die. Because that is the way it goes, with amazing amounts of damage from multiple individuals and a spectacular witch bolt that just seemed functional. So as it draws to a close, I'd like to thank everyone who joined this adventure as the players and those that get a chance to watch it. You got to experience what a journey inside of D&D in a Castle is like as a one-shot, but you experience much more over several days of, well, a vacation beyond imagination with GMs all around me, giving stories like this, grander, expanding different realms, worlds, conflict, problems, as you heard earlier, between dealing with lava and dealing with monsters, and something with a beholder and a demonomicon, because
TPK.
and a TPK demonomicon, because that is the extent of a vacation beyond an imagination and adventure. So we're going to go around and just let everyone do a quick sign off, remind them who you are, remember, plug who you played, and kind of let them know roughly maybe the next time you'll be DMing at the castle if you have that date, and let them know the opportunities for that.
Starting over here?
We're starting over here.
Hello, I've been Mark Meer. I played Captain Flint, and you will see me back here at D&D in a Castle. First in July, I'm going to be at the very first D&D in a Castle event in the United States at Landell's Mohican Castle in Ohio. Following that, I'll be back here in October and November, back here at Lumley Castle in the UK. Once again, if you want to watch me be the Keeper of Arcane Lore for Call of Cthulhu, you can watch Bookshops of Arkham or Graveyards of Arkham on the Chaosium YouTube channel.
And I'm Guy from How to Be a Great GM, and yes, I'll be back at the castle next year, hopefully, fingers crossed, so join me for that. I've been playing Sarul Tashkor.
Yeah.
Looking for an apprentice. You can also find me on my YouTube channel. We release Dustborn Chronicles, which is a weekly playthrough, which is apparently very bingeable. So if you need to binge, come to me.
And I am Elisa Teague. You can find me at the first ever US Castle as well in July alongside Mark for that in July. And I will also be back here at the lovely Lumley Castle for both October and November rounds back to back. So you can come and see me then. In the meantime, you can watch my actual play, Legacy of Worlds, on the Six Sides of Gaming YouTube channel. And it's coming very, very soon. I'm finally allowed to announce this. You can also watch me play Shadowrun on that same channel. So stay tuned. Follow me at Geeky Pinup for details.
I'm Chris Hately. I've been playing Jean Toutain. You can find me at Chris_Hately on Instagram if you wish to see me sporadically post about my vintage miniatures collection. And you can come here in November to play with me and all of the other great DMs at D&D and Castle at Lumley.
I'm Beth Bard. I played Winifred, and I'm also going to be at the U.S. Castle, I believe, in August. You can find me everywhere at It's Beth the Bard, like on all the socials, just at It's Beth the Bard. And yeah, that's it.
And I've been your humble dungeon master for this, well, actual play at D&D in a Castle. You can find me all social media at It's Jayden King. You can find that on, that's the website formerly known as Twitter, X. You can find me on Threads, Instagram, MySpace, Smoke Signals, Walmart. But if you find me there, please don't talk to me because I'm just shopping. But otherwise, you can also find me over doing D&D in a Castle at the US one as well in August 11th, I believe, running some more awesome things. We have plenty of adventures for you to explore to hit whatever flavor, genre, or experience you're open to have with some of the most amazing people to explore the amazing opportunities. Because it's more than just playing D&D. You get to spend time with other people who enjoy the same interests as you, with dungeon masters who pour their heart, soul, and passion into creating an adventure like no other just for you. Because we just want everyone to find a little bit of joy in these glorious moments. So, closing off this adventure with these wonderful players and dungeon masters, Jayden King signing off at D&D in the Castle's actual play event. Thank you, and hopefully we can see you having your, well, vacation beyond imagination. Sure.